awesome.
Oh, God, I hope this is working. Actually, well, I guess this isn't. Hopefully we'll see. I don't know if it changed. All right. Welcome, Wildcat fans. I'm Cindy McCarthy, and I'm being joined tonight by David Warrington, and we are broadcasting live from Springville, where the Wildcats are taking on the Orioles in the 2020 season opener for both teams. Before we talk more about tonight's game, we want to recognize our sponsor for Wildcat Sports, Next Bank.
Each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal financial success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and online services. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right. Well, this is David's first. I think you did football junior high, didn't you?
If I did junior high JV doubleheader last year.
All right. Well, welcome. And David's going to be doing quite a bit of announcing for us this year. And so I'm looking forward to working with him tonight and kind of anxious to see how tonight's season gets started, I guess. And rivalry game right from the start. I don't know. Sometimes that's kind of good. Get the players focused, but sometimes it can be nerve-wracking because it's a team, you really want to win, and so sometimes those first games there can be some bumps and bruises that are going on. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on here tonight. We got Springville and Central City here, and I'm just going to really quick, we're going to talk a little bit about key returners and some losses from each team, and I'm just going to touch on Springville super quick, and then David's going to talk a little bit about the Wildcats. Springville ended up last season 7-3. And their key loss was their quarterback, Kyle Kopis. He threw for over 1,000 yards, and he had 34 touchdowns on the season. That's passing and rushing. And so he's going to be a big loss, and we were kind of talking about it before we came on, how they're going to replace him. And obviously, you said last year for Central City that it's the running back, Spencer Demeen show is what it was last year.
Yes, it was. He's going to be a big key for the Orioles this season and tonight in general.
And he had over 1,000 yards last year and 11 touchdowns. So we're going to really, that's going to be the key, is to be able to, I think, stop him. And then on defense, can't go without mentioning my nephew here, Grant Glockner. He led the team with 73 tackles last year, and he's back on defense. And we were just talking, too, a little bit. They've got 12 seniors. That's quite a few for 8-man football, so it'll be interesting to see kind of how that experience, if it helps them here as they go on. All right, so David's going to talk a little bit about the Wildcats.
Yep, so key losses for the Wildcats. Lost 2-year starting quarterback Nick Reed. As a junior and senior, he passed for 1,645 yards and 28 touchdowns, and also accounted for 4 touchdowns on the ground. That was between his junior and senior season. Also lost Isaiah Dam. He rushed for 2,228 yards, 34 touchdowns, and that was on 254 carries between his junior and senior year. And also Keegan Kula, as an upperclassman, junior and senior, 121 tackles as well as 11 and a half sacks. So some big key components lost from the Wildcats team a year ago, but we do have some big players back as well. On the ground, Cole Silver, Lucas Greif, Marshall Vandevet, all solid options on the ground as running backs. Also Ethan Ty and Marshall Vandevet, 2 leading wide receivers from a year ago. They're back for this season. On the defensive side of things, Cole Silver, leading tackler on the team last year, and he is back for his senior season. So
I'll tell you what, Cole Silver had a breakout year last year.
Absolutely.
He came out of nowhere. His freshman and sophomore year, he was tentative. I mean, kickoff return basically. Got in a little bit on offense on just some different, the year that, 2 years ago, what would have been 2018, when, we had that year. And he'd get in, after we were up by, 40 points. But he just, I don't know, he didn't look like he was comfortable out there. And I tell you what, he was probably the biggest surprise for me as far as that goes. And then, so anyway, and then what else do we have with Cole? Anything? Or did you talk, who else? I kind of missed some of that.
Well, one more thing to mention, Marshall Vandevet,
Oh,
kicker,
yeah.
who's right out there right now about to kick us off to start the game. He's back for his senior year. He was a very solid option on both PATs and hit some field goals for us.
Yeah,
so.
some big field goals last year. And I think he set the school record as far as the length of.
Yes, he did. At Central Cater, as that kick's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. Orioles will bring it out to the 15 to start us off tonight.
Yeah, I think he broke the school record a couple times, and it's kind of nice. I mean, a lot of teams go for 2 because they don't have the extra point, and that can make a big difference. You know, if can be guaranteed 1 point for sure. And
if you have a good enough kicker that you know they can get it in there every time, like Marshall.
Marshall, I mean, it was money. All right, so the Orioles are going to come up to the line of scrimmage, and looks like they're going to do a direct snap to Spencer Demeen, and that's what we just talked about.
Ethan Ty in there on the tackle. Well, a couple of the Tristan Dedeker, Brady Cobe in there as well.
Nice.
Wildcats swarming to the ball.
That's nice to see. We were just talking about that's going to be the key. So the Orioles are looking to replace their quarterback, and they're going to do a lot of direct snaps to Demeen, but they also have Bryce Wilson in the as actually being the quarterback under center, but it looks like another direct snap here to Spencer. He's going to go to the right, and he puts his stiff arm out, and he gets around the corner.
Go out on the sideline about.
Got a first down. Unfortunately, I thought we had him kind of pinned in there, but he was able to stiff arm. Was that Cole or Jack? Unfortunately, he gets a first down there, so it was 2nd and 11, and then he picked up 12.
At about the 28-yard line, it looks like.
Yep, so it'll be first down, and again, they're set up pretty much. They have one split out to the right, and again, a direct step, and this time Demeen's going to go to the left, and he's going to get around the corner.
And he's got a chance. Moan man to beat. Marshall Vandevet does make the touchdown-saving tackle there about the 20-yard line.
We're just not getting that contain, and he's able to turn the corner, and we're not getting anybody over there. So there's a big gain there for Spencer Demeen, and we just talked about it. The Wildcats stopped him on that first one, but the next 2 times he's run, he's gotten first downs on both one. This was a big one. So what that puts him at, I don't know, can you tell? 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. Yeah, Wildcat 20-yard line. So Wildcat defense here is going to have to stiffen up. Wildcat Orioles are pretty much the same things. This time split off to the left, direct snap to Demeen. They get in there this time. Yeah, Ethan Ty. Go ahead. You got the Wildcats.
Looks like Brady Koba right in there for the tackle for the Wildcats.
I wonder, did they blitz Ethan? It looked like maybe a run blitz?
It looked like, because he was there right away.
Yeah, so he slowed Spencer Demeen down, and that allowed a couple other Wildcats. And he's still got about, what, I'd say 2.5 yards, maybe 3 yards.
Yep, somewhere around there.
So it's going to be, we'll say 2nd and 8 for the Orioles. It's at the 17-yard line for the Wildcats. Again, Demeen in the backfield. And his time he hands off to Glockner.
He's going to be taken down for a loss.
Yeah, the Wildcats were there expecting that.
Several red helmets in there on the tackle.
Yeah, I saw Dustin Ferris, and is that Ethan Ty again?
Ethan Ty was back there.
Yep, maybe Cole Silver in there. Wildcats had that sniffed out, so that was a loss of about 2 or 3 there. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 here. So Orioles have yet to put a quarterback under center. So they've got Demeen. They've got one split off to the left. Demeen, it's going to be a direct snap to him, and he's going to go right, and he
got a chance, and he's going to get into the end zone.
And he takes it in for a touchdown. Wildcats just there is a flag on the play. Hopefully there's holding or something there. And Wildcats are just, holding
against the Orioles.
Yes, big call. Wildcats they're losing the contain, and they're letting them get around the edge there.
On a lot of the plays, there's been somebody there. They just haven't been able to finish the
you're
play.
Right. And Spencer's a strong kid, and he has. I noticed the one stiff arm he had there. So they're going to really have to make sure that they're wrapping him up. All right, so that's a big penalty because it looks like it was from the line of scrimmage. Is that what they do with holds?
Yeah, I believe so. Looks like it's about 3rd and 19 or 3rd and 20.
Yeah, 3rd and 20. Yeah, 3rd and 19, 3rd and 20. Big play there against, I guess, for the Wildcats on that hold. So Orioles, again, are just going to go with a receiver to the top, and it's going to be there's going to be a false start. I think I saw some movement on their line.
And bring them back even farther.
Yep, so that should be a 5-yard penalty.
It's going to be 3rd and very long for the Orioles after that. 3rd and 24, I believe.
Yep. So this is a big play here for the Wildcats if we can hold them. And Luke Minster has done some kicking for the Wildcats, or I'm sorry, for the Orioles. So they do have somebody who can kick, but I'm not sure like what his range is for field goals or anything like that. So this is a big play. We can't let him get a big chunk back and let him think about going for it on fourth. So same thing, split. One receiver split to the top, Demeen, and this time he kind of runs inside, and the Wildcats did a good job of containing him.
Short gain there for Demeen, and it's going to bring out 4th and long, so we'll see what the Orioles decide to do here.
Yeah, that was a big play. He wasn't able to bounce it out, and the Wildcats did a good job and forced him up inside, and we wrapped him up there.
Good job by the linebackers on the second level. He got past the line of scrimmage, but looked like maybe Dedeker or Prusman, one of the two, was there to get him.
Yep. So nice defense there. So I don't know. The Orioles are having some people go in and out here. 4th and long. And it looks like they're going to.
Wilson in the backfield for the first time.
So Wilson's in the backfield, with Grant Glockner, and it's a snap almost over his head. And Wilson's going to just throw it up, and it goes incomplete. In between, overthrew one receiver, underthrew another receiver. And so, I don't know. I'll take that call. I almost would have pooch punted it myself. So that's going to give the Wildcats 1st and 10. Is that about midfield? Oh, no,
just
about 30.
About the 30-yard line.
We'll take that.
So we got.
Okay, so I think this is a new rule. Isn't it like 4 minutes?
4 minutes of game time, I believe.
Yeah, every 4 minutes, we have to take a timeout, and I don't know if they're cleaning the ball or what they're doing. But, hey, we got our first chat. Keegan Kula, that name sounds familiar.
I've heard that name a time or two.
Yeah, he says, let's go Cats, 4th and long, let's go. Well, they did it, Keegan, and you bet, it's time to score. So we've got a little bit of a timeout. This is a new rule that they've implemented through this pandemic. And like I said, every 4 minutes, the teams are going to take a timeout.
Officially referred to as a sanitation timeout,
Yeah, sanitation, but I don't see him do anything to the ball.
Yeah.
So anyway, maybe we could do a shout-out to our sponsor.
Yep. Next Bank combines the values of a locally owned, independent Eastern Iowa community bank with expanded services and the latest technology to meet our customers' fast-moving lifestyle. Bank on your success with Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, so Orioles are out here. And we'll get the Wildcats going here. So this will be the first offensive series for the Wildcats. Oh, here's another name that sounds a little familiar. We've got TJ Ayers out there listening.
Heard that name before as well.
D-War on the mic. I think TJ and Keegan, are you guys going to school together?
Yeah, both going to Waldorf, I believe.
Hopefully football's going well for you guys. All right, so David, here we go. Wildcats are coming in on offense.
First offensive possession of the 2020 season for the Wildcats. Ethan Ty leading the huddle as the quarterback. We'll see how they come out in the formation. Breaking the huddle, coming up to the line. 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line, so 50 yards away from the end zone. Like 2 backs in the backfield. And it's going to go to Cole Silver, and he's going to be wrapped up right away. Several Orioles in there to get him. See how they rule it. A short gain, if anything. Maybe gain of 1.
Yeah.
And we're going with some hurry-up offense, it looks like, as they're right back to the line, no huddle. And it's going to go to the fullback. I believe that's Marcus Prusman. And he's
Is that a direct snap to Marcus?
Was.
Yeah. And that didn't really do anything.
Nope, nowhere to go on that one. That was number 36, Marcus Prusman on that carry.
Picked up a yard, looks like.
3rd and, say, a long 7. Or long 8, rather.
Yeah.
And we're going to change formations as looks like Jack Kramer, Marshall Vandevet coming in, Cole Silver, and looks like Tristan Dedeker are going to come out. Coming up to the line, Ty and Vandevet in the backfield. So we got 3rd and 8. See if the Wildcats can pick up the first down here. Vandevet in motion. Ty's going to pass. He's got good protection in the pocket. Going to go deep. That's to Vandevet, and he's open.
Yes!
He's got it. And Vandevet's going to go all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Wildcat touchdown. Like saying that.
Ethan Ty, picture-perfect pass. Marshall Vandevet wide open. Nice catch. And let's see, are they going to go for 2 or they got a PAT team coming out?
Oh, no, they got to use Marshall.
Yep, looks like Jaden Hansen, I think, is the new snapper.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, he's the new long snapper. I was impressed with him. He was on varsity baseball this summer, and I called a couple games. And
I did
he
the
started.
PA.
Yeah, and I was really impressed with him. He's going to be a good athlete there for the Wildcats. So here's what we were talking about. Here's that 7. Hopefully a guaranteed extra point.
It's on the way. It's up, and it is good.
And
plenty of distance right down the middle.
Marshall picks up. All right, so
7-0 Wildcats, and we've got 7:24 to play
in the first quarter. So we like that. Nice. That's big. I think the first game of every season when both teams kind of lost some key players, and it's always puts the other ones in a new role, because you always had Nick and Isaiah, and you can go back to Trey and some of the stuff that we've had, and the same with, we talked about the quarterback is a big difference. Last year they had, it was either Kyle or Spencer, and he could do some things. And so it's kind of nice to have that first drive when you're still kind of filling things out for the Wildcats, and that we're able to get a touchdown on that. That was a great pass by Ethan Ty. Marshall hauled that in.
Definitely a big confidence booster for the Wildcats.
Yes, huge.
Coming out, you can do this with this group of guys.
And especially, we technically let them score on their first drive, but luckily
for us, the penalty
and
called
that's probably why they scored, is because they held us.
Right.
But it's a big confidence booster. We held them, and we come back and score. So you can go ahead and
Marshall
call out.
Vandevet set to kick off for us. First one went into the end zone for a touchback. He'll try to repeat that effort this time, as that one looks like it's going to be a little short. And I think that's Alex Copas going to field at the 3. He drops it. He's going to the outside. He's got some room.
Oh, and
the ball's loose. It's going to go
out of bounds. Was that Cole who hit him, or?
I believe that
was. Or
was
that
Cole
Marshall?
Silver.
I think it was. Yeah. So he bobbled it and he picked it up, and he was going there, and then a hard hit, but right as he was out of bounds, the ball fell out of bounds on that big hit. So. But I'll tell you what, that'll be in his head, if he's in a situation where he's continuing to do that. So the Orioles are going to come up to the line of scrimmage, and again, the same format. They've got one split out, and they got Demeen in the backfield, and they're just going to give it to Demeen. And Wildcats. Probably a little bit of a rush blitz there, and we were Jack,
right there. Looks
Jack and Ethan
and Arwen Betzer, the sophomore.
Yeah,
I believe he was at Alburnett last year after going to Central City through middle school.
Yeah,
and now he's back.
Yeah, and I have him listed as 6'1", 190.
So he did a good job there of getting into the backfield. We had 3 red helmets back there, so we had that place sniffed out right away.
We got a couple. So Arwen Betzer's in there. That's a new. And then I see Aiden Klosterman's out there also on defense.
Just a freshman, but he was very good a year ago in junior high.
He had a really good season.
Got a flag on the play.
Yep, I think it's against Spring. Maybe not. I was thinking it was going to be delay a game, but they're not. They should have been able to call that quicker.
It is against the Wildcats.
We jumped off sides a little bit. Well, that's not what we want to do after a good play there of no gain. And you're coming off of a score, you don't want to give them, and actually a loss, because they must have had about a yard loss on that last play, huh?
Yep, it was about 2nd and 11.
So now it's going to be second and about 6. So now we've got a little different lineup. They're going to be a direct snap. I think that's Grant Glockner.
Yep, it is Grant, and he's going to be met by some Wildcats.
Yeah, he picks up a couple yards there, it looks like. Maybe. So it's going to be 3rd down and looks like about 5 for the Orioles.
Ball's at the 30-yard line of the Orioles.
Yep. Yeah. 3rd down and 5, and it's at the Oriole 30-yard line. So the Orioles have been pretty vanilla. It's just been pretty much direct snaps to Spencer Demeen, but now they are switching up a little bit, and they do have Bryce Wilson in the backfield. They have 2 split out to the top, 1 receiver split to the bottom. There's going to be the snap to Wilson. He's looking. It's a pass across.
Nearly intercepted.
Almost. That's Aiden Klosterman, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it was Aiden Klosterman.
Yeah. The freshman. He almost had his first pick. That's nice. So that's going to bring up So I think the Orioles, I mean, I don't know. Do they have a decision to make? It's 4th down, and they're on their own 30-yard line, 4th and 5, a long 6.
We just scored the touchdown. Got to
We
think
just
if we want to
scored.
give it back to us in good territory.
They're going for it. They're going to go. They've split out a receiver to the top and one to the bottom, and they've got Demeen in the backfield, and they're going to probably, I'm guessing, do a direct snap. Oh, he's going to do the little punt. So Demeen is
That's
their
gonna
punter.
go out of bounds.
But that wasn't a very good punt.
No, it was not. Looks like maybe the
Was he
20s.
going to come up to the
Let's see
3rd?
where they spot it.
Wow, that was not a good punt at
Oh,
all.
wow.
We'll take that. What do you? So, if you've ever been at Springville, David and I are in their baseball press box, which it's not too bad, but we're at an angle, so we have a hard time seeing. Looks like just shy of the 35,
Yep, looks like maybe the
34.
34-yard
Yeah.
line.
So Wildcats are going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 34-yard line. So let's see what we can do here.
Good field positioning to start out for the
Yep.
Wildcats. They're going to break the huddle, come up to the line of scrimmage. Ethan Ty in the backfield. Looks like Marshall Vandevet is to his left. Here comes the snap. And it's going to go over directly to Vandevet, and not too much room. He's still fighting.
Yeah.
Going to be taken down. See where
So
they spot it. It's like maybe gain of a couple, but
About 1 maybe.
it's going to be about 2nd and 9, so
Yep.
a gain of about 1.
So
So-
both teams are doing a lot with the direct snap. Wildcats have done direct snap. They've used Ethan to pass the ball.
Very little true quarterback play
Yeah.
to this point.
Yeah.
Only, I think there's only been two
Two
pass
passes.
plays, one from each team, and ours, of course, ended with the touchdown.
Well, 2 for Springville. They
Oh, yep.
One was almost intercepted, and the other was incomplete.
Yep.
So 2nd and 9.
It's going to be Ty in the backfield once again. Vandevet in motion. Ty's going to pass. Just we're saying that, but he doesn't have much time. Hagensick is in the backfield and is going to take him down for the sack.
Yep.
Not too
Tommy
big of a loss.
Hagensick, no.
It's about 3rd and 11, it looks like.
Yeah, just lost about 2 yards on that. He almost, if he would have gotten past Hagensick, he could have ran for a little bit there because there was a pretty big rush by the Orioles. So 3rd and 11 here. Wildcats need to come up with something.
Orioles are very aggressive on that last play. Looked like they might have blitzed one or
Mhm.
two guys. But
Hopefully we can
Wildcats-
take advantage of that maybe with something quicker than
Mhm.
it looked like we were trying to throw something further down the field and it was developing a little slower.
So 3rd and 11, Wildcats coming up to the line. Once again, Ty and Vandevet in the backfield. Direct snap to Vandevet. He's going to his right, not much there, and he's going to be taken down, got maybe a yard or two, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yep. I don't
So,
know who the punter is.
Hanson onto the field as they're coming up to the line, and looks
Yep.
like Cole Silver is going to be
Ah.
the punter for him.
Okay. So Jaden Hanson's the long snapper, and we got Cole Silver going back deep for is Spencer Demeen for the Orioles.
Punt
There's
is off, and it's going to be caught. Going out past the 30.
not very nice tackle there by Jack
Kramer with a nice tackle. Yeah.
Not very good coverage. He caught the ball and ran for 20 yards before the first Wildcat got to him. But there is a flag on the play.
Perhaps
So-
there's a reason there was
Yeah.
not very good coverage.
I don't know.
We'll see what that
That was
flag is.
weird.
Yeah, it felt like he had all day with
Yeah.
nobody in his way. And it is going to be against the Wildcats. Let's see what we're going to do here. Lucas Greif coming onto the field. I think they're discussing with the coach what they want to do right now, given the situation. If they want to maybe have us re-kick.
No, you
or-
sure? Oh, it was against
Yep,
us.
went against us.
If I was Springville, I'd almost decline it and just take. They got a pretty good return out of the deal. They got
Yeah,
it
they
up to
did.
like 30-some yard line.
Block in the back was the call for the
Oh.
against the Wildcats.
Oh, they'll mark it off from there then. That's not good.
That'll give the Orioles good field position
Yeah.
to
They're going to be
start out this possession.
right about midfield
Yep,
there.
looks like right around midfield.
So it looks like we're at our next 4-minute sanitation.
Got 3:29 to go in the
Yep.
first quarter.
So
So
maybe do a shout out.
go ahead and give Next Bank a shout out. Next Bank is your bank for what's next. Your next car, next home, next business, next phase of life, or next adventure. 5 locations to serve you: Central City, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Coralville, and Waterloo. Next Bank is proud to sponsor Central City Sports. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Well, it's been a pretty entertaining game.
Yeah, it has.
I think we talked a little bit about both teams still kind of feeling things out, getting things figured out. David and I were talking beforehand on this on those stats. Isaiah, in 2 years, he had 254 carries, and like 150 of them came last year.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot more came last year than the year before. And after Isaiah, then it was Nick who had like 40 carries, and then after that, the next person was like Marshall with 14. So
Yep.
Marshall and Cole and Ethan and maybe Aiden and maybe Jack, I know, had a couple carries last year, and Marcus Prusman. So all of those guys are going to be, in that new role, and they're putting a little pressure on them. So we'll see kind of who kind of rises up to the top and starts feeling the most comfortable out there.
I'd say we don't really have a true go-to guy this year
Not
like
yet.
we have
No,
last year with Isaiah,
And then
the year before with Trey
and
Kyle
Isaiah,
and Isaiah as well.
yeah.
Not
And then,
the case this year.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is it's going to be, and I think Lucas Greif's going to get a chance. We talked about he was the JV quarterback.
Yep.
And we talked about Aiden Klosterman, who had a really nice, middle school. It's a little jump up to the high school. So we'll see kind of what happens here as the game progresses and as the season progresses. So Wildcats are going to be on defense here now, and the Orioles looks like they have Grant Glockner and is that Spence or
It's like Wilson in the
and
backfield.
they hand it off to Glockner, who takes it up and gets it.
Nice little game for Glockner.
Up about midfield. About 5.
Yep, looks like gain of about 5.
Yep.
Make it 2nd and 5.
Marshall sounds like was in on the stop. I heard their PA say. So 2nd and 5, and the Orioles are going to line right back up. They've got receivers split out to the right and left, and Wilson's going to do a lateral. And I didn't catch. I don't
Looks
think
like Demeen was
was
on
that
there.
Demeen?
Yep, I think Demeen was the ball carrier there.
Wildcats sniffed that one out because he caught the ball, and there was 3 Wildcats right there.
Wildcats swarmed to the ball, did a good job of
he picked up,
pursuing the play.
still picked up about 2.
Yep, looks like 3rd and 3 maybe.
Yep, so I guess the Orioles are going to go this. They got Demeen split to the right, and another receiver, Copus, split to the left. Glockner's in the backfield with Wilson. Wilson's going to drop back and pass. Now he's going to tuck it and run. And
breaks a tackle.
Breaks a couple
Vandevets
tackles.
in there for a nice
Marshall's
tackle.
really been aggressive on defense.
Looks like they did pick up.
Up a first down, unfortunately. So the chains are going to move, and Orioles will get a fresh set of downs. They're in Wildcat territory.
About the 27-yard line, looks like, from here.
So this is going to be a big stop. We talked about it, a momentum. We scored, held them, and got it back, and weren't able to do anything. So it is 7-0. If you're just joining us, Wildcats were in the first quarter, 7-0 Wildcats. There's a handoff to Wilson, and then he gets it to Glockner. Glockner's up the sideline there.
Taken down
by Cole
Silver.
Knocked out of bounds at just around the 10-yard line, maybe.
Looks like just right around there. We'll
That
see if
marker.
they set up the chains or not.
Yeah. So there's another first down. So 2 back-to-back first downs there for the Orioles. They're switching it up a little bit here, kind of taking the emphasis off Demeen a little bit.
Looks like they are going to be just shy of the 10-yard line.
No. So it's going to be first and 10, and they have a chance to get a first down without scoring. So you got Wilson and Glockner in the backfield. You got Copus and Demeen, and Demeen's in motion. He's going to come into the backfield, and they're going to hand off to Demeen. And there's
Kramer
Jack
on a
Kramer.
tackle. Somebody
and
else got him from behind, it looks
Yep.
like.
Cole Silver's in there.
Yep, Cole Silver once again. He's been all over the
Yeah.
field so far. He's been in a lot of plays. That's what we saw out of him last year as well.
We talked about he got 9 yards on that.
Looks like that's how they're spotting
Dang.
it. 2nd and 1, maybe
Yeah.
2nd and 2.
Now the Wildcats got to get that. Defense here.
This would be a really big stop for the
Yeah.
Wildcats.
Maybe we can get a turnover, get a penalty somehow here.
Switching up the formation a little bit, just
Yeah,
based on
they've
who's
kind
on
of
the
switched
field.
around
Some
a little
guys
bit. So they,
coming on and off.
Yeah, the Orioles are making some changes here. It looks like Gabe Deloy's in the backfield now. I think is that number 11. I think they're
Yep.
going to call a timeout. So
Looks like
Gabe
a-
Deloy and Spencer Demeen and Grant Glockner were all lined up in the backfield there.
Almost a goal line type
Tech-
formation.
yeah.
A lot of the
Bringing in the fridge.
yep.
Gabe Deloy's listed as he's a tall kid. He's 6 foot 250.
They
So
also had
that's-
some of their bigger linemen coming out onto the
yeah,
field. It looked like.
yeah. All right, so the Orioles here, second down and a yard to go for a first down. And it says the ball's on the 4-yard line, so 4 yards to go for a touchdown. So this is a big play here for the Wildcats. If we could get a stop and get a loss, it'd be nice if we could keep them out of the end zone.
Nice part about the PAT is we can kind of gives us a little bit more, like we know we have the PAT point coming, so a little bit more difficult to make the 2-point conversion if you don't have that kicker. Luckily for us, Van de Vet knocks in the kicks pretty frequently, so we
Right.
have that 7th point pretty
Right.
much.
Guaranteed. A
Yep.
lot of, nothing's guaranteed, but. All right, so the Orioles break the huddle and they bring out that same formation. They got 3 in the backfield there, Glockner, Deloy, and I think that's Demeen.
Yep, looks like Demeen.
And it's going to be a direct snap to Demeen, and they gets behind Gabe Deloy.
Still pushing.
Used him as a fullback, kind of. Ran behind him. And I tell you what, the Wildcats played that pretty tough, David.
Did not give up the first down.
No, they didn't. Wow, that is great defense. Again, we have a hard time seeing here like who's making those tackles. We'll do our best to figure out who's making the stops. So it's going to be 3rd and short. 3rd and short from around the 4-yard line.
Big play here for both sides.
Yeah. So they're going to go. Springville's going to line up again with Deloy, Glockner, and Demeen in the backfield. This time, same thing. Direct snap to Demeen, but there's the Wildcats.
Betzer's right there, but he can't make the play.
Dang, the Wildcats had that sniffed out, and Demeen made a cutback, and we had a chance, but he's really good using that stiff arm. And he's able to dive into the end zone, and that's going to be the Orioles' first touchdown of the season. Spencer Demeen picks that up. So they're going to go for 2, it looks like. I mentioned, maybe.
This is what they did last year. They've got Menster.
Oh, yeah.
Menster in the backfield, one to the left, and everybody but the center to the right.
And so
So he's going to throw.
and
Kopus has it. And he did
no
not get it.
good. Awesome.
So Wildcats hold
Oh,
the lead
yeah.
7-6.
Yes.
Goes back to the PAT. They couldn't
Yep.
punch in the 2 points, so we hold the 1-point
Yeah.
lead.
So that can, those can come up big if we can stop those a couple times, and so that's exciting there. The Wildcats make a good play, and unfortunately they get that score. A couple big runs there. Wildcats just have to shore up those bigger plays, Another freshman out there is 67, Dayton Price. I see him coming off the field getting a drink. So we've got Dayton Price seeing some playing time as a freshman. He's 5'10", 185. He's a big kid. I was impressed with him in baseball also.
Yep, he got some good playing time in baseball season
And
as
you
an 8th
mentioned
grader.
Arwen Betzer. He's getting some playing time as a
Looks like he's
sophomore.
playing some nose guard, it looks like.
Yeah.
We've got 14 seconds is all left in the first quarter. Let's maybe get a chance for one play before the end of the first. As the Orioles.
So the Orioles are going to come out, and we'll see who's going to do their. Gabe Deloy used to do their kicking. I don't know if he.
Looks like
Luke
it might be
Menster.
Menster,
Yeah,
yep.
I forgot Menster's their kicker now.
A lot of times I've had foreign exchange students coming in.
I
and
know
they've
that
been
have
doing
been
the
their
kicking for 'em.
kickers. This time they got Menster. So Menster's going to tee it up, and who we got back deep
Looks like
there?
Van de Vet is back deep, and maybe
Is that-
Greif is the second deep man.
And Jack, is that who
Yep,
that
looks
is,
like
or
that's
Cole?
who that is there.
Yeah, because Cole.
Not a great
No,
kick.
not a good
It's gonna
kick.
be
And
fielded by Greif,
Greif.
going to his right, and he's going to take a big hit.
yeah, he kind of ran backwards a little bit
Yeah, that's
instead
what
of
it
just
looked
kind of
like.
trying to think. I think he thought he might be able to get something there going to the right. It was kind of a short kick, like you mentioned, but Lucas is another good athlete, and he's just a sophomore, so it's nice seeing some of these kids, like we said, they're gonna have to step up.
So we've got 10 seconds left, so probably just time
Just
for one
enough
more
to
play.
score a touchdown.
That would be a great, great plan. Looks like Van de Vet and Ty once again in the backfield. And Van de Vet in motion, direct snap to Ty. He's going to pitch it out to Van de Vet.
Oh,
Breaks
and
one
he's
tackle, going back the
And
other
a
way.
great
Big block by Ty.
Ethan takes out 2 guys.
Van de Vet
Whoa.
jukes someone out. Van de Vet all over the place on that run. We'll see how much he actually gained in the end, but that's going to be the end of the first quarter.
I think he lost a yard.
All that, and he went backwards.
Not kidding. That was the best run that I've seen. Then you didn't gain anything. But great block by. So the snap goes to Ethan, and he pitches it to Marshall. Marshall ran right into an Oriole, bounced off the Oriole, started making a come back the other way. Ethan was smart enough to see that, laid out an Oriole, and Marshall then went around him and then did a spin move and got pounded, and he lost a yard.
That was the most exciting negative 1 yard play you'll ever see.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, how about if we give a shout-out to
Next Bank is a financially strong community bank. Invested partnerships help their customers achieve what's next for their financial dreams. Next Bank has 5 locations to serve you: Central City, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Coralville, and Waterloo. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We'll talk a little bit more about Next Bank, but we really do appreciate Next Bank and the opportunities that they provide and the way they help the school. We wouldn't be able to do this Wildcat sports channel without Next Bank, so we really appreciate that, and there's a lot of other things that they do, and you've probably heard me talk about them if you've listened to the broadcast, and we'll probably talk about them again. It's always nice to have that support from the community, so we do appreciate Next Bank. So if you're just joining us, we just ended the first quarter. It is Wildcat 7, Springville 6. Both teams kind of feeling it out. It's the home opener for both teams. Cooled off a little bit. They talked about some storms, and it went right around us, and which is fine. We could have used a little rain, but they went right around us, and so it has cooled off a little bit, but it's a little stuffy up here. We're in the press box, not going to lie.
It's like it's going to be spotted right around the 21-yard line, if that is where he's going to set it down.
Yep. So it should be second and what about 11?
Right about around 11 for the
Yeah.
Wildcats. Orioles defense on the field. Wildcats have yet to break their huddle from the sideline.
We mentioned at the top the Orioles do have 12 seniors returning, and a lot of those seniors are on defense, and so that is probably their strength. And with again, we talked about Demeen in the backfield, but a lot of seniors. So you don't see this a lot in 8-man football. And was there a penalty?
Looks like there must have been. They marched them back to about the 11-yard line, so it's going to be
what
second
the
and long.
deal is with that.
Looks like Myers is having a conversation with one of the officials. Not sure what the call was, but
Yeah, I didn't see a flag. Well, he's not. Well, and then they're calling it first down. It shouldn't be first down.
originally they had second and 11, but now they've got first and
So that
about
there must have been
20.
a penalty on that. I wonder if they called a penalty on Ethan's block
oh, that's true.
on that.
And
And then there's a penalty on
Prusman
Prusman.
looks like false start, so
yep.
gonna drive us back a little bit
Wow.
farther.
That's going to be 5 yards. This is going to put us at about the 3-yard line. Well, we had that good first series, and now we're kind of stumbling here a little bit. So
Ball
hopefully,
set down right around the 6. It looks
oh,
like.
okay, half distance that maybe they did. So
But
it's
still, first and very long for the Wildcats. First and maybe 25, somewhere around there. As spin formation, ties in the end zone. He's going to get a throw
There
off,
it
and Van de Vet's
is!
open. He's going to catch it. He's got
Come
room
on,
to work.
Marshall!
Going down the field, Demeen has him,
Has
and he's going to
him.
be taken down after a big gain past the Orioles'
First
30-yard
down,
line.
Wildcats.
That's the play we needed
Yes.
right there. Looked like we were in danger of a safety as
Yeah.
Deloy almost had Ethan in the end zone.
Ethan was able just to get enough space, and it was just, about a 5-yard pass, 6-yard pass?
Yeah, it wasn't a far pass through the air,
Yeah.
but Van de Vet caught it with room to work in front of him. Demeen just did catch him from behind.
Yeah, and Marshall got up the field enough. That's what I said. The Wildcats might not be able to get the long passes if our line can't keep out, but if we can do the short passing game. All right, here we go, David.
Right about the 30-yard line as same two, Ty and Van de Vet in the backfield. And Ty's going to bobble the snap. He's going to break a tackle, and he's going to be taken down. Looks like maybe no gain on the play. Menster in on the tackle.
Yep.
Should be right around 2nd and 10.
Yep. So we talked about last year Brady Koba was the center.
Now
And
Troy Curtis taking over as center this
Troy
year.
Curtis Jr. coming in and taking over that spot. So in first game we talked about there's always going to be these things, in the first
Lots
game,
of nerves,
jitters
lots
and
of
things like that. So
adrenaline pumping, so
Yep.
you never know. Looks like Prusman is going to be in the backfield with Ty. 2 receivers split out to the left. As Ty's going to take the snap, looking to throw.
nobody's blocked him.
Throw is off the mark. Maybe a little bit of
Miscommunication. It looked like
Van de Vet broke to the left.
Yeah.
Pass broke to the right.
Yeah, it looked like Ethan thought he was coming all the way across the field. Marshall cut it off and went up the field. So that's going to be 3rd and 10. And again, we just talked about that. There's going to be some miscommunications. We got, Ethan. I don't remember Ethan playing quarterback at all last year. And like I said, Lucas Greif was the
Played some JV
JV
quarterback for the
quarterback.
Wildcats
Yeah,
and
so
blowout games where we didn't need to have the varsity
yeah,
anymore.
so it's a learning thing here tonight. Both teams probably will have some mistakes. We got Owen Hall, one of our regular listeners out there.
As we've got Greif and can't quite make out who that other person is. It's going to be Dedeker in the backfield. It's going to go to Greif, running to the right, and he's going to be taken out
No,
of bounds.
that's Aiden Klosterman,
Oh,
number
right you are,
22.
yep.
Yeah,
22.
but so we got a lot of different people getting some playing time here. So
Lots of young people getting
yeah,
some
no
playing time.
gain. And I really thought, like I said, we're going up a pretty experienced line, but we were talking about Brady Koba, how much, and Dustin Ferris, how much they've improved.
Silver's punt is away. It's going to get into the end zone.
Oh, shoot.
So that'll bring it out to the they do
15.
15 for
Yep.
punts as well.
Yep. Oh, that's a bummer. Wildcats had a little bit of confusion on there. So hopefully we can kind of get some things figured out and some people start nerves kind of going away and get some offense going. We've had a couple decent plays. It's just we haven't been able to put anything consistently together here.
Still 7-6 here in the second
Yep.
quarter.
So we got the Orioles here are lining up. It's been pretty much the Spencer Demeen show. And is it him or is that Wilson and Glockner in the backfield?
It's like it might be Wilson and Glockner,
yep.
I believe.
And it looks like they've got 2 receivers split to the right and 1 to the left, and they're going to hit. Hey, there's an interception!
And that's going down the field. I think that was Ty. It was Ty, and he's going to have a nice return as well.
Woo!
Wildcats will be set up nicely, well into Oriole territory. Ethan Ty with the interception and a good return after the fact.
Nice defense there. I'm not really sure if there was a receiver that was open, and Ethan just jumped up out of nowhere and picked that off of Bryce Wilson, was the quarterback.
Read the play very well.
Yeah. Well, and were they looking to go to Demeen? It's hard for us to see. As far as numbers, and I don't know who they were going for, but it doesn't matter. The Wildcats have it.
1st and 10 from the 12, so we are in great field positioning. Silver's going to take the carry. He's got a nice run, and he's going to be taken down.
Yep. There we go. That was a good run by Cole.
See where they spot it. A nice job of pushing through some
Yeah.
would-be Oriole tacklers. Like Glockner in on the tackle, according to the PA here in Springville. It's going to be about maybe second and 5, give or take.
That was a good run by Cole.
2nd and 5 from the 7 as Ty running onto the field with the play call.
So we need to get a touchdown here. We need to take advantage of that pick in this field position that we're in.
Just need 7 yards to punch it in as we've got 3 in the backfield. It's going to go to Ty. He's going to go to the outside, cuts it in. He's got a chance.
Ooh, he hit that hole.
Him, and he's going to get into the end zone.
Woo!
Touchdown.
Touchdown Wildcats. There we
Ethan Ty
go.
with the run. So Ty's accounted for both touchdowns at this point, one on the ground and one through the air to Van de Vet.
Yep. That was a nice little play. He kicked it out to the outside, and he saw a hole, and he just busted right up to that hole. Showed a little burst of speed there and was able to – Ethan's a strong little kid and was able to and I think Marshall was going to the bathroom or something. Here he is running out on the field.
Might have been looking for that tee. Looking to dig in one of the bags.
Yeah, Ethan's a strong little kid, and he drug. I think he drug an Oriole into the end zone.
That's what
there.
it looked like. Kind of just dove into the end zone from a couple yards out. As Ty's going to hold, snaps good, kicks on the way, and it looks good, and it is good.
It is good.
14-6 our score here with 9:42 to play in the second quarter. Wildcats extend their lead, up 8 here, early second quarter.
That was a good drive. I mean, we didn't have to go very far, but we had some good positive yard plays.
Right, we didn't have any plays where we got maybe one or went
or
backwards.
yeah. So that was, but like I said, it wasn't a long drive, but it looked. Cole had a nice run. Ethan had that run. We did some positive things, so that was good to see. So hopefully we get that momentum back. You want to give a shout out here?
Yep. Next Bank represents a new approach to banking in Iowa, expanded services, more technology, and increased personal attention. If you want to take your banking to the next level, Next Bank is for you. Next Bank is proud to sponsor Central City Sports, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right.
Wildcats have looked good, all things considered so far, up 14-6.
Yeah. We've had some big plays. Just consistency probably would be the one thing on offense. I mean, the thing is that's a tough penalty to call on Ethan if that's what that was. I mean, he turned around and it was like, hey, I'm going to block this kid. Here comes my player. I mean,
he was just straight up face-to-face with him.
Yeah, that defenseless thing, that kid could have turned. So
any play where somebody ends up getting blown up like that, you're quite likely to see a flag out on the field.
Yep.
Vandevet set to kick off. Kind of a funny little formation here with the Wildcats, as the kick's going to be a good kick and it's going to go into the end zone. Well into the end zone as well. 1st and 10 from the 15 for the Orioles. So the Orioles,
kind of, it seems like on one offensive set, they just stay in the whole time they're on that. They stay in that one set, and then they've kind of changed it up. Now this last time they pretty much had Wilson and Glockner in the backfield, and they had receivers split out and trying to maybe get Demeen out on the wing or something out there. So we'll see what they do. They have Copa split out. Looks like they're bringing Wilson and then Demeen and Glockner. So we got 3 in the backfield and then 2 receivers split. And that's going to be a handoff. And there goes.
Got some room.
Demeen.
Kramer's there, and Kramer and Silver are able to bring him down. It looks like it was Demeen on the carry.
I think that was a snap to Wilson, and they handed it off to Demeen coming across from Wilson. So
good gain, brings in about the 32, 33, somewhere in there. 1st and 10 into Wildcat territory.
Yeah, those big plays, we've given up a couple. Well, both teams, I guess, have had some big plays. So we'll see here. We're in good shape. So Orioles are going to do the same thing. They got receivers split, 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom, and you got 3 in the backfield, Wilson, Glockner, and Demeen, and it's going to be another handoff to Demeen. He slips 1 tackle.
He's got a chance.
And he's going to.
Vandevet's the man to beat, and
he
does manage to bring him down. Looks like they're going to spot him right about the 2-yard line.
2-yard line. Yep. That was just a misdirection, kind of a counter. Demeen came across, and the Wildcats just didn't read that very well. And Demeen didn't have anybody. Well, he did break 1 tackle, and then he had a lot of free running room. So
nicely run play by the Orioles. Some misdirection.
Then you could tell the Wildcats kind of bid on that.
Put some question marks into the young defense. It looks like Dayton Price is out there, maybe going for a bigger goal line situation here on defense.
Dayton's a little bigger kid out there, so.
1st and goal from the 2.
Same formation. Hand off to Wilson, pitches it to Demeen, and Demeen.
We're there. Is he gonna? He will get into the end zone.
I think was that Cole Silver?
Looked
or
like
was
I
that
thought I saw
Klosterman?
Klosterman. I saw Betzer in there as well.
Oh, okay. We had him, but just his momentum was taking him in, and so the Orioles come right back and match the touchdown here.
14-12, 2-point conversion would tie it here.
Big play here for the Wildcats if we can get that. If we can keep this 2-point spread. So they spread out again. They have Menster, and he's going to throw it, and he's
going to be caught.
Yep,
by
that
Demeen.
was too easy. You know they're going to look for Demeen. I mean, just put somebody on Demeen and don't let him, kind of like almost playing with basketball. Just say, hey, I'm going to face guard you, and you're not going to get the ball. Make somebody else hurt him. So that's going to make it 14-14 here. With how much time we got left, David?
We got 9 minutes exactly to play here in the second quarter.
9 minutes to go, 14-14. Both teams have had some big plays. Both teams have had some negative plays, and there's been some penalties. So actually, pretty decent game considering first game of the year. I'd have to give the nod to Springville as far as like returning people, the number of returning people. But the Wildcats are hanging in there with some of their new people, and they're throwing some freshmen and sophomores in there. So that's nice to see.
Kicking team out there for the Orioles.
Yep.
Wildcats coming onto the field right now.
Yep. So this time it does look like Gabe Deloy is teeing it up.
Definitely want to watch for an onside anytime they have a new kicker in there.
So Gabe Deloy, who has done the kicking in the past, is teeing it up, and it looks, is that Marshall?
Van de Vet is back deep,
Yep.
right around the 12-yard line, backing up now to about the 10.
And then it looks like, and Deloy's going to go with the, Marshall.
Bobbles it, picks it up at the 2. The block in the back is going to be called. Van de Vet, nice return, but I think it's going to come back. It looks like Betzer got one of the Oriole kickoff team members in the back.
Yep.
I don't think it was intentional necessarily, but it was blatant.
The kid turned around right kind of when Arwen just didn't get in it. Wrong time. So that's going to be half the distance probably to the goal line. So the Wildcats are going to be at about probably the 5 or.
Should be somewhere around there, depending on where they actually spotted. Looks like right around the 10 is where they spotted it. So yeah,
about 5-yard line.
Should be about the 5.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time there. Just kind of an awkward situation.
Was a good-looking return from Van de Vet as well. Just unfortunately negated by the penalty.
Well, the one thing is Marshall probably should have let it go, and it would have went into the end zone.
Right.
It went over his head, and he had to reach out like he was a center fielder going with an over-the-head catch. He should have just probably let it go, and it would have went into the end zone. But
couldn't quite snag it
from
the air as Wildcats breaking the huddle, coming onto the line of scrimmage. 3 in the backfield. Hard to tell who it is from this angle. Looks like Kruzman and Ty maybe.
So
I believe that's Ty going to take the snap. Cuts it back. Gained a couple, looks like, before being driven back.
Maybe one.
We'll see where they rule it.
Wildcats were 1st and 10 from the 5.
Will give them just 1 yard. 2nd and 9 from the 6. As I think that's Ethan kind of shaking his arm around, his hand maybe. So he got banged up a little bit on that last play. He's going to come back onto the field, though. That's a good sign.
What do they have? 25 seconds for in between?
Oh, that sounds right. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but something like that.
Denise Starry listening in tonight. Let's go Cats.
Coming up the line are the Wildcats. Just one in the backfield.
There's Aiden Klosterman.
Aiden, young kid, not quite familiar. We're going to do a little bit of a switch here. Everybody comes off the line of scrimmage. Going to set back down now. Snap's going to go to Ty, and he's going to keep it himself, going on the outside. He's got some room. Nice little run there by Ethan. That's going to pick up a first down for the Wildcats.
Knocked out of bounds by Luke Minster in on the stop, but that's going to be first down. That was a big play. 2nd and 9 after that last one, and he did the little spin, faked the handoff to Klosterman, and Ethan kept it, and nice play. It looks like he jammed his finger or something. He keeps
still shaking his hand a little bit. As I think we're going to have another sanitation timeout here with 7:46 to go in the second quarter.
Game's tied 14-14. Wildcats have a first down and are driving. Actually, it's kind of nice that they have this because it is still a little warm out here, and I see a lot of the players, getting some fluids in them.
Chance to rehydrate, hoping to avoid cramps and other issues like that.
It's been a hot week,
it has.
For practice, so sometimes as the game goes on, that can a
little bit of wear and tear just from the whole tough week of practice.
Yeah.
Interesting to note here, at some point the Orioles did call a timeout. Oh, I remember. It was when they were down by the goal line. So the Orioles do only have 2 timeouts to the Wildcats 3.
Yep.
We got 7:46 once again on the clock. We're tied 14 apiece here in Springville.
So not a bad crowd here. We didn't really, I guess, set the scene. I'm a little out of practice. We are at the Springville field, and the Wildcats are in their white traveling uniforms with the black numbers, red trim on the sleeves, that the red helmets with the cat scratch on the side. They've got red bottoms. And the Orioles are in their home. Our uniforms are pretty similar. They've got orange with black sleeves and the black pants, and they've got a black helmet. So decent crowd. You got people kind of spread out all around over there on the other side we can see there. And the Wildcats are kind of spread out too. There are some people in the bleachers, but there are a lot of people spread out. So great night for football. A little warm, but could be worse. Could be playing in a downpour. Or it could be 100 degrees.
Downpour is definitely threatening earlier as the Wildcats snap the ball. Silver's going to keep it himself. Direct snap to him. He's got some room.
Cole!
He's got a chance. He's past the 40. He's to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. And he gets taken down right inside the 5-yard line
by Luke Menster.
What a run by Cole Silver. Just took the direct snap, and I think he fooled some Orioles.
Did he do a little spin?
Yep,
yeah, he did the spin. And I don't know if he faked. Was it Ethan that he faked the handoff to, I wonder?
I believe it was Ethan.
And just like Demeen was able to get on the outside, that's exactly what Cole did. He got on that edge, and he had 3 Orioles chasing him. 2 fell off, and on the last, Luke Menster just dove and tripped him up. So what do we got? First,
they're going to spot it at the 4. So first and goal to go. They're at the 4-yard line.
We got to punch this in. This is a game of big plays, David.
Yes, it is. Some big explosive plays from both sides. As Silver's once again by himself in the backfield. He bobbles it. It's on the ground still. Vandevet's going to dive on top of it. So that will bring us backwards a little bit.
Not what we wanted.
Not as easy of a scoring situation as we had
previously. I almost would have
taken
Cole out. As hot as it is, he's playing offense and defense. He just had a, 40
run,
sprint. I feel like maybe he's bent over right there.
And now he's coming out of the game.
I just don't know if that would have. You just don't think he's ready there. I would have, brought in, Ethan or somebody else just to let Cole get a blow as hard as as hot as it is. We were talking about that. So
at the 15-yard line now, as Ty is going to be in the backfield. He's going to pass, going to his right. It's in the air. Prusman catches it. Don't know if he got much of a gain at all. Maybe a gain of 1, so that'll bring up 3rd and long.
Oh, he got a couple there.
And Wildcats are going to call their first timeout of the half.
So 3rd and 12. So we're 12 out. So we got two downs to get 12 yards.
Also, if nothing else, we do have Vandevet as an option for a field goal, which is not ideal, but of course better than no points at all.
So, that's the thing is we can think about this 3rd down. We don't have to think about getting 12 yards. If we could get half of that, get 6 maybe, 5 or 6, that makes that 4th down. I guess then you come up, do you go for the touchdown or, do you kick for the field goal? So big play here for the Wildcats. See if we can do that. Yeah, this is kind of a game with some big plays. Both teams have some short plays or some losses, but each team has had some big plays here. And there's only been 1 turnover, the interception by Ethan Ty that led to a touchdown for the Wildcats. So it's been actually a pretty clean game. We've had a couple penalties. Wildcats we had potentially the Ethan one, and we had Marcus Prusman, but the Orioles I think have had a couple penalties, so really not too bad considering it's the first game.
All around pretty solid night of football for both teams at this point.
Yeah.
Both teams coming back onto the field now for about 3rd and 12.
So we'll see now who we got coming out. Looks like Ethan's going to be out there, and 36 is
be
Marcus.
In the backfield, and I think that's Vandevet
I think that's Marshall. On the line, you got
Dedeker
comes in as like the tight end, and then Troy Curtis, and Ferris and Koba, and it's going to be
going to pass. He's rolling to his right, throws released, and it's going to be incomplete. That brings up 4th and 12, and we'll see what we decide to do here. And Hanson's going onto the field, so it looks like the field goal unit might be coming on.
I get, this is, this is the smart play. It'd been nice to pick up a couple extra yards there on something, but the short passing game had been working.
I feel like at this point, maybe if you get 5 or 6 yards, that's a better situation to go for. But from 12 yards out, probably better to just go for the field goal.
Yep, I totally agree.
Break the huddle.
Yep. So
Ty set to hold. Vandevet to kick.
Ethan's got big shoes to fill there as the holder, taking over for Keegan. Keegan always made it exciting. Oh,
And
they're going to fake
looks
it.
like an intentionally faked, throws in the air, and incomplete.
Oh, I will have to give the Orioles credit. They went with, who was that?
I think it was Kramer going out to the side.
No, but, I mean, we had threw the ball down to, who's 27 for the? Braden
Rickles, sophomore.
And he was covered, really. So if that's who they were going to. So the Orioles
didn't really fall for
didn't fall for that. Yeah, they covered that up pretty well. I would have liked to have seen Marshall go for the kick, see what he could have done there.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 12. Orioles will take over with the turnover on downs.
Well, that's unfortunate. We had it down to the 4-yard line there. So we'll see if we can get back. So
and he's got some room to go.
And that's Demeen. Here we go.
Kramer's going to be the last chance. And he is going to be stopped momentarily.
Nope.
Still going.
Wildcats have to tackle. Wow.
And he's going to go into the end zone.
That was just poor tackling there for the Wildcats. We had 2 guys who had a chance to take him down, and you can't just grab around the shoulder pads. You know that.
Got to wrap up.
Yep. And especially a kid like Demeen. So
he's just got a big, strong base. He keeps his legs turning, and that's what did it for him that time.
Yeah.
That's going to make it 20-14 with a 68-yard
That's unfortunate
touchdown.
because that's a flip. We had we were 1st and goal from the 4, have a bad snap, and we're not able to get anything, and now they turn around and they come all the way down.
Big momentum flip for
yep,
sure.
And now they score, and Menster they're going to call.
Flag on the
I
play.
think that's got to be procedure. Nobody was set. Yeah, they're going to call procedure on that.
Yep.
I think they were still shifting or doing.
It looked different than when they've usually done that formation where they have a bunch of people spread out to the side and nobody on the line of scrimmage.
So that's got to be 5 yards.
I don't think the Springville coach likes the call very much, but.
Well, they should. No, I think that was somebody from the other side.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So we got going for the 2-point conversion. Going to be at about the 8-yard line. And they're going to give it to Menster. He's going to roll
Silver's
to his
right
left.
there. Can he get him down?
Come on, yes.
Hold on. Nice tackle there
yeah,
by Cole
that looked
Silver.
like a takedown for Cole.
Yeah, some experience from the wrestling mat paying off here on the football field.
So that was a big play right there. You know, you talk about the momentum boost, and at least they didn't get the 2-point conversion. So
just a 6-point game, so a touchdown in PAT. We take a 1-point lead. 6:48 to go here in the second quarter.
Wow. Crazy. Game of big plays, both teams. But, man, they got to wrap up Demeen. You know Demeen's going to carry the ball 90% of the time. You got to be keying on that kid.
Almost reminds me of Martin's last year with the Midland game. He had some big runs that game.
Yep. So Orioles take 20-14 lead. We're at 6:48 in the second quarter. Maybe we can give a shout out here real quick to Next Bank.
What are you saving for? Whether it's retirement, your child's education, a new car, or just a rainy day, Next Bank has the right savings account for whatever's next for you. Next Bank is committed to help you achieve what's next for your financial dreams. Bank on your success with Next Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right.
So it looks like Vandevet will be deep once again for the Wildcats. Looks like Greif and Klosterman staying about the 20. Vandevet's back about the 10, still going back.
And who we got kicking this time?
Deloy looks like he's going to kick it
again. And that's going to be that line drive.
And that one would have gone into the end zone, but he's going to field it past the 10.
There
the 15,
we go.
20, down just past the 30. He's finally taken down.
Nice return. Good blocking. Marshall just ran straight up the field. Wildcats did a good job of kind of keeping the Orioles wide, and Marshall just put his head down that last 5 yards and good return here. Wildcats are going to have it in good field position. We got to answer here, I feel like. But we got Klosterman coming out. We got Lucas Greif, young kid out there. We got Tristan Dedeker.
All around, fairly young team for the Wildcats. Quite a few freshmen and sophomores out there.
So I can't tell who's the other one in the backfield.
It's like Vandevet, and the snap's loose. Wildcats will hang on to it, but they're going to lose quite a bit of yardage.
That's going to go all the way back to the 15-yard line.
Unfortunate play there for the Wildcats.
Yep.
Officially spotted at the 16, but it'll be first or second and long rather.
Yep. As we mentioned, actually, is Troy still out there? Yep. I think he's 60, isn't he?
Yep, Troy's number 60.
Yeah. So as we mentioned, Troy's at center for the first time this year. So, just kind of getting those Twitter.
So like
things
Greif's going to take
there
the
we go.
carry. He's
There we
got a
go.
nice game.
Yeah.
He's almost going to get us back to where we were.
Right.
Maybe the 27 or 28. They
Nice.
finally drag him down, but a good
Yeah.
run there by
Yeah.
Lucas Greif, just a sophomore.
Yep.
His first year really getting any major playing time.
Yeah.
He didn't play too much last year as a freshman.
No, he didn't. A little bit on defense every once in a while, but not really that much.
Pretty much just a little defense and pass formations, but it's going to
Mhm.
be right around the 26th they'll
Yep.
spot it.
Jack Kramer's going in for Tristan Diedeker, and
So
we'll have.
3rd and 14.
Looks like they're splitting Klosterman out wide.
And I think that's Greif in the backfield by himself.
Yep.
As he takes the snap, he's going to pass. The pressure's there. He just lets it go. It's in the air, and
It almost looked like a screen pass, and we just Jack was there.
will get batted down and
Yep.
incomplete.
It's gonna be
But
4th down. I don't know about that.
just faced a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
They got there in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, you almost feel like we need to roll those guys out a little bit and give them either option to run or pass,
Yep.
just with their size. So it looks like the Wildcats are going to punt. Cole Silver.
Back at the 15. He's going to take the snap. Gets a pretty good punt away, it looks
Bad.
like. See if it can stay in bounds
Go,
and roll
go,
for a
go,
while.
go, go, go. Oh,
It'll
nice.
be a really good punt.
Yeah.
Down to almost the 10,
10,
maybe
yeah,
the
15.
12, somewhere around there.
Nice punt. Well, our defense had, so that last time on offense, we didn't have, Ethan wasn't in there. Marshall was out, and so was Cole. So I don't know if they were giving him a little bit of breather, because obviously these guys are going both ways.
We did see Ty kind of shaking his hand a
Yeah.
little bit, maybe got his finger jammed or something.
And I
but
see Ethan on the
he's
sideline
still not
right
out
there.
there for defense
Yeah.
either, so hopefully it's nothing serious. Looks like he might be icing a little
Yeah.
bit right now. But Orioles back on offense. 1st and 10 from the 14 officially.
So we got 3 in the backfield again. It looks like Wilson, probably Demeen, and Glockner. They're going to hand it to Glockner. He's going to kind of take it up the middle. And
A lot of Wildcats there, but he's
yeah.
still pushing forward.
Yep.
We'll see where they spot it. Pretty good run by Glockner.
Yep. Picks up, looks like maybe 4 there for the Orioles. So not bad there on D. Yeah, Ethan Ty's out. And Marshall's out right now.
And Marshall's taking a knee on the sidelines as well, so hopefully we can see them back in the game
Yeah.
quickly. It's going to be 2nd and 6 from the 18, gain of 4 on 1st down.
So now this is what the Orioles did last time. They've switched it up here. Now they're going with the 3 in the backfield. 2 receivers split out on the right and left, so they have 3 linemen. And they're just handing it off, and
A lot of Wildcat jerseys
Yep,
there to
that
stop it.
was that Demeen or was that Glockner?
Kind of hard to tell. Looked like it
Yeah.
might have been Demeen.
It's hard to see their numbers. They got black numbers. They should
Especially as it's starting to get darker
Dark,
here
yeah.
in Springville.
have white numbers on their orange jerseys. So
Probably have a sanitation timeout coming up here
Yep.
quick as we just passed the 4-minute mark, but we'll get one more playoff before that.
So what do you say? 3rd and 4 here. Again, same formation. And it looks like Wilson's going to keep it.
What looks like it might have been, it looks like it was enough for a 1st down there for the Orioles.
Yep. Looks like they're going to move the chain. So he just picked it up. He didn't get it by much, that's for sure.
Was just enough.
Yep, just got that.
And sure enough, another
Yep.
4 minutes of game time have passed, so we're going to take another timeout. 20-14 here in Springville if you're just joining us. Orioles have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 25 here with 3:39 to play in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, this was, a good game. I think there's a lot of unknowns, probably more for the Wildcats than the Orioles. Again, they're replacing one quarterback, which he had a big role. We talked about replacing Nick, who was a, 2 or 3-time starter.
2-year starter,
Two-year
quarterback.
starter at quarterback.
As a sophomore, played more of a wide receiver
Right,
type
right.
role.
And Isaiah Dam, who had started for sure 2 years.
I think he's got, I don't know if he started or not,
Well,
but he
he was
definitely
playing
played as a
yeah,
sophomore.
yeah.
Got quite a bit of playing time
And,
as a sophomore.
definitely probably bigger offensive losses for the Wildcats. You know, especially when you have a 1,000-yard rusher returning for the Orioles. But I tell you, the Wildcats are hanging in there. Keegan, the score is 20-14. Orioles are up, and we have about 3:49. Is that 3:49 left? 3:39 left in the second quarter. So yeah, you know, the Wildcats are hanging right in here. We've been playing. We've mentioned. I think we've mentioned almost all the freshmen almost.
A lot of young
Jaden
players.
Hanson's coming in and doing the long snapping. We talked about Lucas Greif, who's a sophomore, who's getting some playing time. Aiden Klosterman. We talked about Braden Rickles. He's a sophomore. Arwen Betzer's a sophomore. So, a lot of young guys out there getting some playing time for the Wildcats, and they're hanging right in there. So, let's see if we can't get a defensive stop. This would be a big series for the Wildcats. Looks like they've got 3 in the backfield, and they're gonna. Oh, there's a. They
nice job by the Wildcat defense.
Faked it to Glockner, and then
they almost
came
faked
in.
themselves
yeah.
out.
I don't know if there wasn't a good. Looked like maybe the exchange wasn't the best.
Yeah, it wasn't too clean in my handoff.
And the Wildcats were able to get in there. Looks like there's a timeout. Is there somebody
Maybe
hurt?
it looks like injury timeout. One of the Orioles down on the ground.
Can't tell.
Might be Demeen.
Is it Demeen?
It is Demeen.
Oh, yep.
So we'll have an injury timeout. Wildcats going over to the sideline here. Never like to see anybody on the ground, so hoping nothing serious, hopefully.
Yeah, this is a big series here for the Wildcats. So it looks like a loss of 2 on the play. So yeah, I don't know. The exchange didn't look really very good, and the Wildcats had some good penetration there, and were able to trip up. Looks like Demeen's walking off on his own power. Looks like he isn't even limping. So I'm sure we'll see him back. He has to set out a play. Could have been a little cramp too.
Yep, like we talked about earlier. It's been hot all week. It's been up into the mid-90s almost all week long.
Yeah, with heat index up close to 100 couple of those days. So, so we'll see here what the Orioles do. They come out, and they've been, kind of switching it up. They've been doing a lot of direct snap. Now they've been all of a sudden going ahead and doing the more traditional. Neither team's done an under the center snap yet.
No, it's been nothing but shotgun snaps to this point.
So it looks like we've got Wilson and Glockner in the backfield. We got 2 receivers split to the top, and Wilson's going to throw it. He has a receiver.
And one man to beat. Can Van de Vet get there? He cannot.
That looks like
Menster's going to go into the end zone.
Yeah, there was a miss. Somehow the coverage got blown there or something, because Menster was wide open.
Just had Van de Vet to beat down the sideline, and he was able to make his way past him.
Yeah. That was unfortunate. I don't know if that was Marshall's responsibility or if he was the safety and the corner lost track of Minster. So
I think Marshall and Jack are talking about that right now on the field.
Trying to figure it out.
It's one of those things they'll definitely be talking about tomorrow morning when they watch the film.
Well, a little bit even maybe at halftime,
Right.
Just a couple adjustments here, and this is a close game yet, so. There's a snap to Menster, and he kind of chucks it to the ground. He didn't even have it. It was he was going to have pressure there by one of the Wildcats, so their 2-point conversion is no good.
26-14 our score here from Springville.
So we got 3 minutes and 15 seconds left, and this is going to be, to me, I feel like this is a big drive. I would like to see us be able to put something together and at least get down the field, maybe get in position for a field goal.
Put some points on the board. Give us something to build off of going into the second half.
For sure. We were just talking about how it was tied, and we had that 1st and goal on the 4-yard line, and we had that bad snap, and then how everything flipped, and now the Springville's put 2 scores up on the board. So the Wildcats have to answer here.
If I remember right, we will get the ball to begin the second half.
We will.
Marshall kick off to start the game.
So this is really huge. If we could get some points, even a field goal, if we could get some points right now, and then get that opening kickoff. I mean, we're right back in. It's right back to a tie game. So, or maybe under a 1-score game. So, Wildcats here have some. Let's see if Marshall. He had a good return for us last time. Got us up to about 35-yard line.
Set up a little bit deeper. He's back about the 3-yard line this time. After those first 2 kicks from Deloy were pretty good.
Yeah. Their line drives.
They're low to the ground. Field about the 6.
Should be able to get
15,
some good.
20.
There he goes.
25, 30. He's still going past the
Yeah,
35.
nice return. Got it right about 35, 37-yard line.
So 3:09 to work with, and we'll be set up pretty nicely
Yeah.
to start off this drive. Looks like they're going to spot it about the 36-yard line.
Perfect. So it looks like we're going to go again with Lucas Greif's out there. I think Marshall stayed in.
Yep, Marshall's still out on the field.
And then who's going to be our other back there? Is that Marcus Prusman this time?
And Prusman. Greif, Prusman, and Vandevet in the backfield.
Big field. No wideouts.
Greif playing the quarterback position in the shotgun, and he is going to throw. Protection kind of breaking down, but he's got a little bit of room to run.
Oh,
he
hang on to
will
that.
get past the line of scrimmage.
Maybe two.
Maybe gain 1 or 2.
We've got sure to get some exciting runs where we either get tackled for a loss or like a yard. No, we gained a yard there.
So good job of Lucas there to make something out of nothing as the blocking broke down there. 2:40 to go here in the first half as Jack Kramer's going to run onto the field. Still no Ethan Ty out there. Not sure exactly what happened, but he is taking a knee there on the sideline, so hopefully he'll be all right.
I'm assuming it's that hand.
Yep, that's what I was thinking as well. And ball's loose again. They fumbled it.
That time it was a good snap. It was just maybe
they were doing the spin and kind of just misplayed it, bobbled it a little bit.
Yep.
I'm sure they've been primarily practicing with Ethan in that position.
Yeah. So now it's going to bring up, lost about 5 or 6 there. So every time we do that, that puts us, I don't know, what, about third and
17 according to the scoreboard.
Yep.
3rd and 17 at the 29.
So now we've got Cole checked in. Looks like we've got Luca.
There's a snap. It's going to go to Prusman at fullback position. He's going to push forward for a few, but he's still going to be shy of the first down by quite a bit. Not even back to the original line of scrimmage.
So
as the Orioles are going to call
take a timeout.
Their second timeout of the half. They'll have 1 left.
With 1:40, I'm sure they're wanting to try to get another score before halftime. So this is a big play here. We need to get a good punt, and I'm assuming I'm assuming Demeen plays defense. I haven't really. It's going to be hard. It's hard to see their numbers. I'm not going to lie here. So he was injured on their last offensive play.
Be big for them if he's feeling better and can get back out there.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm assuming he will. He didn't even. He
wasn't even
off.
limping or anything.
So the Orioles are wanting the ball back here they'll get it with about a minute and a half. So the Wildcats really are going to defensively. We can't let them score again here before half. We were just talking about how if we could score and then get the ball at halftime, but we just can't afford to give them another score here before halftime.
Even with us getting the ball back to begin the second half, down 3 touchdowns at half is
that's tough.
Not impossible by any means, but it's tough to come back from at that point.
Yep. So
looks like we are going to set up to punt. Hansen in over the ball to snap. Cole Silver back deep.
Yep.
Cole's going to punt it right around the 22-23-yard line as punts away. Kind of a line drive.
And
caught in the
fielded
air.
This time. And
a little bit of a hole there. He's still going down the sideline.
There we go. This is exactly what we just were talking about. There's a return for a touchdown. I think that's
Luke Menster. Yep.
So it didn't even matter. So that's exactly what we didn't want to happen.
And 32-14 after the touchdown there by Menster.
So we went from 14 to 14 with our opportunity to potentially go up, and now all of a sudden it's been 3 touchdowns here by the Orioles, and that's not good.
Looks like Vandevet coming onto the field last minute for the conversion as there's a snap.
Menster. There we go. Is that
nice
Cole again?
Tackle by Cole
Cole's
again.
got another takedown.
He's done a good job on those last couple.
The last couple times.
Conversions.
The Orioles are 1 for 4, I think. They just had that one.
They had the one, but other than that, we've done a good job of shutting that down.
Yep.
It makes a big difference. It makes it a whole lot easier to come back.
Yeah, I mean, when we can get 7 and they're getting 6, So here we go. But here's the other thing. We still have an opportunity to score. I mean, we need to get some points here before halftime. The Wildcats, I mean, there's a minute 26 left. There's going to be a kickoff. If we can get a good return, we've been talking about this. If Marshall's back there, he's been getting some good returns. We just need that big play. That we talked about how this has been a game of big plays, and the Wildcats were able to get some of those big plays. And we need to hope that we can keep those big plays. We need another one.
Van de Vet deep once again. As Karth just said, he's had some nice returns. It'd be great if he could give us another one. Give us a chance to do something here with a minute and a half, 1:26 to be exact, left before half. Deloy's going to kick off again for the Orioles. And not quite as deep of a kick, but Van de Vet's going to field it about the 4 after it bounced a couple times. He's at the 10, trying to go down the middle, but he's going to be taken down at the 15-yard line, so
not a good return.
just the same as a touchback.
Yeah.
So 1:20 on the clock. Wildcats going to try to get something going here before half. Tommy Hagensick in on the tackle for the Orioles.
So let's see what the Wildcats can do here. We just talked about we need that big play. Ethan, obviously, it doesn't look like he's coming back in, so we're going to have somebody else step up.
One of these younger guys step up and take on a bigger role here for the Wildcats, as Van de Vet's also not on the field at the moment after that
Yeah, it looks like
return.
Marshall's struggling a little bit, too. I don't know if it's a heat thing or if there's injury.
Yeah, it's hot enough just up here calling the game.
I know,
so
I'm sweating.
probably not
There's
the
a
most fun down on the field
whistle
just with the
there.
heat. And flag is out, so we'll see what the call is. And delay of game is going to be called against the Wildcats.
Geez, the Wildcats are just struggling right now.
Took us a little too long to get up to the line of scrimmage and get this play going, so we're going to be marched back 5 more. It's going to be first and 15 after the loss of 5. And Prusman's got a nice
Come
run.
on, Marcus!
He's got a chance. He's at 30.
Fumble!
And he's going to be taken down about midfield, but
Good play. We've got timeouts, don't we?
we have all 3 timeouts left.
No, we used one, remember?
Yep.
So it's 1:15 left. Here we go. We got what we're at. They marking that at midfield.
Looks like the 37 is where
All
they're going
right,
to put
nice
it.
play by Marcus.
Yeah, he just didn't quite have the breakaway
Nope,
speed,
nope,
but he
he
did do a
doesn't.
good job of.
Oh, now they're.
What's the call here?
Was that timeout? Oh, I don't think they had the chain gang set up.
Yep. They're still kind of
They're
trying to
still
get set
trying
up.
to get set
I
up.
think one of them dropped it because it was
I
on
think
the
one
ground.
of them fell or something, maybe.
Looked like
All
we were
right.
kind of going with some hurry-up offense.
Yeah. Yeah, the officials should have stayed over the ball. I don't know if they just lost track of where the chain gang was there. So kind of a little, I don't know if it's good or bad for the Wildcats, but it gives us a chance. So it looks like Lucas Greif's kind of taken over as the play caller, not necessarily always controlling the ball, but as the play caller.
He is going to be in the shotgun this time, and
looks like is that
maybe the snap's low, picked up.
Cole Silver, I believe.
Yep, looks like Cole Silver. He did a good job of getting some yardage out of it.
Yep.
Let's see where they spot it.
That's better. But 4 yards.
Yeah, looks like they're going to spot it right around midfield. So
we got just under a minute. We've got to get another play off here. We've got our 2 timeouts, I'm pretty sure. And my guess is we could potentially have 2 plays here if we needed to. So second and 7.
Shotgun.
Oh,
It's another high
Jesus.
snap. Prusman's back on it, so it looks like we are going to hang on to the football.
Yeah, but now we're going to have to use a timeout. No, maybe not.
Troy Curtis in his first game as the starting center on varsity.
He's struggling a little bit.
I used to play some center, and once you get one bad snap, it's just kind of
Gets in your head
in
a
the
little
back
bit.
of your head.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can just kind of clear his head.
Right.
He knows how to snap the ball. I practiced with him a little bit last year, and he's a consistent center. So
the Wildcats are gonna. Are we just gonna? We're just.
I think we are just going to take it to halftime.
I'm really surprised we wouldn't try to get another play here. But
Maybe just hope.
yeah.
Don't want anything negative to happen
Yeah.
before half. So that will end the
Especially-
first half.
Yeah.
Troy kind of having a couple bad snaps there in a row, so just give him a chance to regroup.
And not letting Springville. Did they have another timeout?
I believe they
They
did
had
have
another
one more.
timeout. They could have forced us to punt if it was 3rd and about 12 there. So that's going to be the end of the first quarter here, and the Wildcats were in at 14-14, and then the Wildcats have went and got 3 scores since then, so it's 14-32. We're at halftime. For the Wildcats, the scoring was Ethan Ty to Marshall, and on a nice pass play, and Marshall took that in, a long play, and then we had an interception by Ethan.
And then he punched it on the ground a couple plays later from about 6 or 7 yards out.
Yep, and that was our scores, and I think Demeen's got all. Oh no, Luke Menster ran a punt back.
He's had a punt return. Demeen had the 68-yard run.
And Demeen's, I think, scored all the other touchdowns.
Yeah, I believe so.
For the Orioles. So let's go ahead and maybe give a shout out quick to our sponsor.
Next Bank is invested in their communities and ready to help the local economy grow by helping your business or farm operation grow. Whether you need an operating loan, equipment loan, livestock loan, or real estate loan, Next Bank has great terms and rates that will help you move your business to the next level. Next Bank offices are located in Waterloo, Cedar Rapids, Marion, Central City, and Coralville. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Rebecca is the daughter of the late Nick Breck in Carabreck and Kyle Ripple. In addition to cheer, Rebecca has been a member of the volleyball dance.
It's Miss Delaney.
Oh, thank you, Miss Delaney.
All right. Well, the Orioles, and this is, unfortunately, this has just been a crazy spring.
There's nothing about this year has been typical.
Been good. No.
Ever since March.
So right now, something that most teams wait and do at the end of the year, the teams are doing it at the beginning of the year, is that they're introducing the seniors, cheerleaders, and probably I don't know if they have their band here, but
maybe just in case we
it's
end up not being able to finish the season, which fingers crossed we can, but you never know given the current times we're living in. So
most teams are doing their senior things, their first games, and so right now at halftime, the Oriole are recognizing the senior cheerleaders, it looks like, and then I'm assuming that, the senior football players. And we talked, they have 12 seniors. This is just an unusual, kind of an unusual thing that you don't see all the time at a 8-man, but it's kind of cool that 12 guys have stuck it out. I'm sure they all haven't played the same amount and have had different roles, but sticking it out. So anyway, we're at halftime. It's 32, right? 32
to 14 is our score here.
David's been doing the shout outs to Next Bank, and I just want to take an opportunity. Next Bank does more than just the Wildcat Sports Channel, and just something to let people know of what they do in our community. They donate to the PTO Children in Need Fund. They provide a teacher luncheon, usually either in the beginning of the year, at the end of the year. They obviously are the sole sponsor for the Wildcat cast or the Wildcat Sports Channel. And so David's going to be kind of taking over the announcing here for football games this year, and I'm gonna be doing most of the volleyball games. So there's, I think, 6 volleyball games that we're scheduled to announce, and I think there's 7 football games. So David will be doing a lot of these, and then along with, obviously, if you're a Wildcat fan out there, we do all the sports. We do basketball then in the winter. And we do then softball and baseball in the summer. So Wildcat Sports Channel is solely supported by the Next Bank, and so it's a great thing. It's kind of funny. So there's Coach Meyer, his sister and husband, who listen all the time, and they've written in here, and they say hi. Their son is going to start coming to Central City, and I got introduced to him today, and they're like, "We feel like we know you." It was just kind of funny because they listen to the broadcast all the time. But so we really enjoy doing this. I know David did this last year, did a few games, and
when I didn't have to actually play
when
in
they're
the
playing,
games.
and it's a fun thing to do, and it's a great thing to provide, I think, our fans. We've got Nick and Sarah Reed have an uncle who lives in Florida who is one of our top listeners last year, and we always have Owen. You know, not everybody can travel, even if it's a home game. I mean, we do a lot of the home games, but a lot of the people who live out, I know Fritchers they always want to know if we're going to be broadcasting volleyball and softball games because they have family who live out of town. So this is just a great thing that we really appreciate Next Bank that they allow us to do the Wildcat Sports Channel. But they also do all the programs for all of our sports at home. They help with the homecoming parade. They help with post-prom, fine arts boosters, the robotics team they sponsor. They help with the yearbook, and they also have a sign out on the baseball field in the outfield, and they provide a mental health and community resources night. So they really are involved in the community and in Central City Schools. So we just really always want to just show our appreciation to Next Bank and the support that they give us. So that's our Next Bank thing, and we'll continue to give them some shout outs. And we're at halftime. I'm Cindy McCarthy. I'm being joined tonight by David Warrington, who's, I don't know, you're a freshman at UNI.
Yep, freshman at UNI this
have
semester.
classes started yet?
Yep, they started the 17th, Monday the 17th.
Oh, wow, okay.
They started
so
a little early because.
are you guys going to be done at?
Yep, we're going to be done by Thanksgiving.
Okay.
That way everybody goes home, sees
Right,
their families,
right,
and then
right.
we don't have to come back in between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
So have you guys, are you having some
In-person
classes?
Yep, so
okay.
most of the classes are hybrid or online, but there are some that are fully in person. And hybrid meaning that maybe you'll meet once a week in person and then the rest is online. But
Okay. How's it going?
pretty good. I've kind of gotten everything figured out. It's
Yeah.
a very big change going from.
Do you have a roommate?
No, I don't actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just redesigned the dancer halls where I'm living, and they just redesigned it with all single rooms.
Oh,
So
that's unusual. All right. Well, I will say sometimes having that freshman year is stressful enough, and then sometimes having a roommate that you don't know and you're trying to figure things
Right.
out, and then do you get along, do you don't get along? So sometimes that can always be a stressful thing. Well, hopefully you'll have a good freshman year, and you're doing journalism or what, sports broadcasting?
yeah,
or
journalism is what I'm going into.
Okay, perfect, awesome. So anyway, that's exciting for David, and if you don't know, he graduated last year, obviously, and he played football, basketball, and
track as well.
Yep.
Didn't get to do it last
I
year,
know, I know, I know. Don't remind me. Unfortunate, this whole year, and so you're going to probably see this whole parent night thing. I think our volleyball team's doing the same thing, and one of their first games, home games, and I think I think the football team is doing the same thing, as far as doing this stuff. So it's just a year of weird stuff, unfortunately.
It is nice here in Iowa. We've been able to get quite a few sports out there. Baseball and softball got to play this summer, get a shortened season. And football, a couple games cut out, but still most teams with 7-game schedule. Plus, I believe every team gets a
in the
playoff game.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yeah, and then kind of go from there. So, well, I think I kind of started talking about this. I don't know. I should have done my journalistic skills a little better and talked to Coach Meyer, but it's been a pretty hectic couple weeks here. And what with the storm that went through on August 10th, and so kind of shout out to all. I know we had some football players go down and help with Coach Meyer. Some places down in Cedar Rapids helped clean up, and that was a whole. And it's still a pretty devastating thing that happened to Cedar Rapids, and Springville got hit pretty hard too. But they have their own landfill like a little bit, and so they were able to get some stuff cleaned up a little quicker than at Cedar Rapids. But they kind of went through it too, but there's just a lot been going on, and so I really didn't have a chance to talk to Coach Meyer to know what his expectations are. Obviously, we didn't really lose a ton of seniors last year, I don't think, off of football, but just some key
big guys,
seniors and have some people back, But again, we kind of talked about it, after Nick and Isaiah, the leading ball carrier, had 14 carries last year, So obviously Marshall and Ethan and Marcus, who had that big run earlier today, and we're seeing a lot more of Greif, and we've seen Klosterman out there. We've seen Betzer. I mean, so we're seeing a lot of the young kids, which is kind of good. That we're a young team, obviously. So I don't know where, and I think Springville is kind of projected potentially to be a team that could go deep in the playoffs. I mean,
a year ago they were the first
were
team out. They
right.
were, I believe, 16 teams that wants to make the playoffs.
And it's like they were 2 points out or
number
something.
17.
And they just missed it. So
and they didn't lose too much to graduation. So
we
I haven't
talked
seen
about,
any rankings, but
they have to be ranked. I mean, with obviously their quarterback. We talked about that, but but when you've got, like we said, 1,000-yard rusher coming back, they're not going to they're going to figure there's probably somebody who can take the ball and turn around and hand it off to Demeen or do direct snaps, So anyway, so I think we just need to figure out their defense a little bit here. And we've had, like we said, some big plays, and we did kind of had something going there. And then I don't know if Ethan's going to be able to come back. I mean, I would assume he'd have been back in if he's going to play. But maybe he'll try giving it a go here the second half. Maybe he's been icing the hand. He did something. You picked it up. He came off and he was shaking his hand.
Trying to almost shake the
so
cobwebs
I don't know if
out.
it got jammed or what. But if he could, like you said, they've probably been doing a lot of reps with him as that main spinner there. So, so see what the Wildcats here. This is kind of like a good opportunity too as a young team. You're down 3 scores. You mentioned we're going to get the ball back. We've had some bad snaps. Some of the stuff, it isn't necessarily anything Springville's doing to us. I mean, defensively, if we could take away a couple of those big plays, maybe if they're going to score, make them earn it. Don't give them a, 50, 60-yard run and a punt return. So you take away a couple of those and if we could make them earn it, maybe we could have stopped them on downs. We're in this. So this is going to be a check kind of here this first game.
See what the
what they're
young
made of.
team, what they're made of, right. Wildcats do have a few seniors out there. A lot of seniors get quite a bit of playing time, but all around we've seen some new faces out on the field. We've seen some young guys, a lot of freshmen and sophomores. So kind of put up or shut up time for the Wildcats here.
I think there's 5 seniors.
I believe that's right.
Ethan Tighe, a senior. We've been calling his number. He's going to be playing offense and defense. Cole Silver talked about how he had a breakout year last year, and Marshall Vandevet, obviously his kicking and he's returning kickoffs for us, and he's caught some passes and he's been running, and then Brady Kuba, who's on the line. We haven't really called his name a ton. He was the center last year. They've moved him off, and he's using his blocking. He worked really hard. He was working hard in the spring in the weight room. I know when we were doing some weight work for track, he was in there trying to get better here for football. So hopefully he has a good season. And then we have Dustin Ferris, who's another kid who really worked hard in the off season, and it's been hard to see exactly who's in on all the tackles, but I'm sure Brady and Dustin have been in on a few there that have been up around the line.
One of the biggest changes when Myers took over at the helm, I think 6 years ago now. I think this is 6th season. We really bought into the weight room, and results have shown. We had a big season 2 years ago where we went 8-1, made the playoffs, and gave Don Bosco a run for their money. And then last year, 4-5 record, but we were in a lot of close games we couldn't quite finish out.
Yep.
And a lot of kids working really hard in the weight room, and Dustin and Brady, a couple you mentioned.
Yep. And I've just seen Cole get bigger. I remember when he was a freshman, I had him in class, and he's a kid who goes out for wrestling, and he does track, and he plays football. I don't think he does anything in the summer as far as a sport. He probably comes up to the weight room, but I know it's helped him. Ethan's small, but I think, we saw his strength and his quickness. Yep. And even Marshall, you can tell, has gotten a little stronger. I feel like we were just kind of talking a little bit about him from what he did last year. And
he's also looked more sure of himself.
A little, yeah,
he
looks more confident. I think he's a little stronger. He's made some good defensive plays. He's actually broken some tackles. We were kind of talking about that. And Troy Curtis is another one. I think he works pretty hard in the weight room. So, this is kind of one of those years, like you just said. It's you want the seniors to be good leaders, but we're playing a lot of young guys, so it's kind of like, okay, guys, what can you do, and kind of maybe getting them ready. Sometimes you got to go through some growing pains when you have those young teams, and then the payoff is a year or two down the road. Kind of like with Springville, you and I were just talking about that. Their freshman and sophomore years, they didn't really do anything with these guys, these seniors that they have. But last year they had a breakout season, went 7-3.
Just were one position short of the playoffs.
And one game short, and then now this year, kind of looking to go deep with those 12 seniors and the experience that they have and stuff like that, and go deep into the playoffs. So, and it, like we talked about, there's probably a couple teams that we're going to play this year that, I'm not trying to be mean, but like Central Cater's struggled the last few years. They're not very good, and I guess I should have printed out who we're going to be playing this year, but I feel like we play them.
I believe so.
And it's like, man, why couldn't we start a game again? Have our first game against them instead of, Springville, who, like we said, is potentially like I should have looked. I don't even know if they have any preseason if they came out with any rankings.
Yeah,
Did you?
I haven't
didn't
seen
see any.
anything,
Yeah.
but
I mean, they've got to be potentially on there, So now you're taking a relatively young team, and going up against a playoff potential, playoff team versus a team that maybe only won a couple games last year.
Mhm.
But every game's going to be a learning experience for these guys, and I guess you got to play everybody. So let's go out here and do what we can. And the other thing is sometimes you don't get better if you're playing poor competition.
Right, for sure.
It doesn't help you, especially with some of these young players. So anyway, what do we got left? How much time?
3:45, and then I think they put 3 more minutes for stretch
so
time.
we got. Did you see a band? I don't see a band, but I hear music. We've got a flag presentation out here going. They have some flag girls. They always used to have a band, but maybe they probably can't have bands. That's it.
I know that Central City had their marching band camp canceled,
Yes.
so I'm sure that's not just us.
The music was just coming from the loudspeaker. So they have flag team here, and they just did a little performance. And so Wildcats are down here on the field, down in the end zone, getting up now. Coach Myers was talking to them, and hopefully these guys, can come back out. You mentioned it. We're going to get the kickoff, and this first drive, I feel like, we really have to come out and we have to make something happen.
Yeah, the first drive will be telling for how the rest of this game is going to go.
Right.
If we can put something together and put some points on the board, then we're right back in it. Just a couple defensive stops away.
Yep.
But if we go out there 3 and out and give them the ball right away, that's a different story. It could be a tougher effort to come back.
Yep.
So both teams just getting back onto the field, stretching, getting loose. 2:25 on the clock.
So we're at halftime, and again, just because of the COVID, everybody here is outside except for the players. Everybody is mandated to wear masks here at Central City or at Springville, and actually, Central City fans, if you're listening, the same is going to go for our athletic events. If is going to be indoors or outdoors, at volleyball games or football games are going to be required right now to wear masks. So
that first home football game is going to be 2 weeks from today.
Yep.
I want to say Don Bosco for the first home game.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. I wished I would have printed out the.
I think I've got it on my phone here. If you give me just one
I was
sec.
thinking there was another team first before Don Bosco. I know we go to Easton Valley next
that's
week.
next week. Let's see what we have. It'll be 2 weeks from now, Don Bosco, and 3 weeks from now is Key. That's what is listed on Varsity Bound.
Okay. All right, so it is Don Bosco. So the Wildcats have
pretty tough start to the season, all things considered.
But Easton Valley, I know they had some.
They graduated
They
a lot last year.
graduated a lot last year, so that I don't know what anything about them.
I'm sure they'll still be a solid team though. They had a couple running backs that were good that are coming back. Don Bosco, of course,
Yeah,
won
Don
the state
Bosco.
championship
Yeah,
a year ago, so
yeah.
that's always a tough draw. Whether you're at home or going to Don
Right.
Bosco, that's a tough team to beat.
Yep. Then we have Key. I know we
We
play.
gave them a good game last year, won by 2, I think. A field goal was the difference.
And Midland. And we got. I think we go to Midland.
We go to Dunkerton after Key,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then we go to Midland, and then West Central for our last game.
Right. So hopefully and then like you mentioned, all the teams are going to be given a playoff game.
So
that'd be another game, and so hopefully we're all still playing then. And
big opportunity.
Yeah.
In basketball and most sports at the high school level, everybody gets at least a chance in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But football is not the same.
No.
Football, I think 8-man, 16 teams qualify, and then you go from there. But this year, every team's going to at least get a chance.
Yeah, so that'll be something different, and it kind of opens it up a little bit. You played basketball and with Coach Carlson, and I know and I'm sure he probably talked to you guys. Maybe your freshman, sophomore years. It's like, well, we didn't have a stellar record, but everybody's 0-0. Doesn't matter.
Well, I remember specifically, I think it was my sophomore year, the East Buchanan girls basketball team. They only won 4 games the full regular season, but then they went on to win 4, and I think they were 1 game shy of making the state tournament.
I mean, and that's the thing is, it kind of happened this year in softball. Easton Valley girls, I think, maybe won 1 game or no games.
They might have.
And then they had a pitcher who wasn't able to play during the shortened season because it was so short. She came back in the tournament, and they won like 3 games, or 2 games or something like that.
They beat Springville, upset Springville, and
they beat somebody else because then we beat them. Yeah, and then we beat them. So
they beat a really good Marquette
Catholic team. Yeah, and
gave our girls a run for their money.
Yep. So anyway, yeah, I mean that's just kind of the thing, and I always have liked about softball, baseball, basketball, that everybody was able to play, and no matter how good your season was, you still had to bring it, You
can't just roll up and show up and think you're just gonna walk right into the state playoffs or anything.
Yeah.
You actually have to.
Versus football, you still have to play. Granted, and to be honest, in the 8-man, especially because they only take 16 and there's so many 8-man, like Springville, and
They had a really good year last year.
They had a good year, and actually a team that they beat made it to the playoffs, and they were, and it's kind of goofy the way isn't it like points in your
there's a system where
districts?
they have like a mathematical
And
formula.
we played in Springville and Central City. I think we're in the same district last year.
Yep.
And we played in a tough district, and that other team, that was a non-district game that they won, but that district was weaker, and that team was able to win some games and actually ended up with a decent record. But but Springville beat them, and they made it to the playoffs, and we did, and Springville didn't. So, anyway, so this year you don't have to worry about that with football, and so that'll another be an interesting aspect at the end of the season. So we're getting ready here to get the second half underway, and as we've already mentioned, the Wildcats are going to be receiving the kick. So it looks like they're going to go with Deloy. He's got that straight line drive kick versus the floater one that Menster had. And this
a little
one
more air underneath of that one, but Van de Vet is going to field it. Hard to tell how deep from this angle, but he's getting some room to the outside. He's going to be taken down. Decent little gain there. We'll see where they spot the ball.
Not a bad return. So we're just getting the second half underway. It's 32-14. Springville's up. Wildcats and Springville were tied 14-14, and then the Orioles went on 3 consecutive opportunities, and they had 2 touchdowns and a kick return for a touchdown. So Wildcats have to put something together here. Looks like they got Cole Silver now kind of calling the play.
Yep. Cole Silver is going to be not necessarily quarterback, but he's going to take the snap. And he's got Van de Vet, and I think that's Prusman.
Yeah,
that's
what I was going to say.
Silver's going to keep it himself. He's going to push forward. Decent little gain there. Several Orioles in there on the tackle.
Cole had some good carries there in the first half.
Does
he
a good
picks
job
up,
of
yeah, look at
driving
that.
his legs, and
Looks like it went about 5.
yeah, it was a pretty good run there by
Yeah,
Cole.
we'll take that. Second and 5 for the Wildcats. Where do they say we're at?
The 22-yard
so
line, it looks like.
Not bad.
Cole getting the play from the sidelines. He's running back onto the field now. Like we kind of mentioned, it's definitely been a game of big plays. Hasn't been too many long.
Drives, no.
It's just been big play after big
Yeah.
play, and then negative plays, and then another big play. So here we go. Second and about 6 or 7 as we take the snap, going to the outside. Taken down. That was
And it's
Cole
Cole
once again.
Faked a handoff to Vandevet.
Looks like he's going to be just shy of the first down. We'll see where they actually
Yep.
do spot it.
Picked
but
up about 3, I'd say.
another pretty solid run
Yeah,
there by Cole.
2, 4 maybe. Like third and long 1 or short 2 there. This the guy with the down marker looks like the down marker's about ready to tip over. He's having a hard time holding it up. So it's kind of hard to see. It looks like probably about 2 yards.
Yeah, they have 3rd and 2 on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So as they come back to the line, Silver in the backfield and maybe Greif back there with them. I saw him come onto the field. He's going to take the
There
ball,
it is.
and it's going to be close.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
see where
gonna
they
be
spot it.
close.
I think he might have gotten it. It's hard to tell from our angle.
Nope.
But
The
he did-
officials
they
are
did not
holding
give
up.
it to him. That was
Oh,
Aiden
that was
Klosterman on the
Klosterman.
carry. So
Yeah, Klosterman. Well, I almost think you have to go for it.
at this point, I agree. It's 4th and maybe a yard. It's not
It's
a very
not,
far.
It's a short yard. It's not even a full yard.
No.
From our angle, it doesn't look like. They're on the 28-yard line. This is a big play right here. We've got to do something where we can get a push. This is where we needed Keegan. This would have been Keegan's
This
play.
was Keegan's opportunity right here. Just give it to him and let him push forward. And you could count on him getting it as Klosterman's going to take it again, going to the outside. He's got
yes!
a nice little run there, and it's definitely
That's-
going to be enough for a
yeah.
first down.
That
but-
scared me a little bit because it's like I feel like when you need that 1 yard, just go
Mhm.
up the middle. But Aiden kicked it out there, and he turned the corner, and he got kind of tripped up. He could have gotten a couple more yards
He
there.
only had 1 or 2 Orioles to beat
Yeah.
down the sideline, but
And he's a pretty athletic kid, pretty quick.
looked good on the baseball field this
Mhm.
summer.
Yeah, for sure. He was another 8th grader, freshman, who got some playing time on the baseball team. So we're just waiting. Cole Silver's running in the play again.
Wildcats coming up to the line. 9:10 to play here in the third quarter. 32-14 our score. Orioles with the lead. Silver in the backfield. And I think Klosterman's still in there. It's going to go to Silver. Running to his right, met by a couple of Orioles.
He busted out over there a little bit, too. Picked up a couple extra yards.
Kind of bounced off a couple of
Yeah.
guys and pushed forward. Nice solid gain on first
Yeah.
down.
Picks up about 3 or 4 there.
Kind of staying on schedule, so
Yep.
you still have 3 yards on first, second, and third down, and
Yeah, get a first down.
you're setting up nicely. 2nd and 7, so we did get 3 yards there.
So looks like Cole's kind of taking over.
Cole's kind of in the workhorse tonight, especially after
Mhm.
Ethan went out, and he still hasn't been back in the game yet. But
No.
Cole's been
But-
doing a good job with on both sides of the ball. Klosterman and Silver in the backfield once again. It's going to go to Cole's going to keep it himself. A nice run there.
Nice fake. Nice fake by Aiden Klosterman to hold that out like
was a
he had the ball.
well-executed play.
Cole did a really nice job on his footwork there and faking like he did have it and kind of kept the ball on his hip, and it was hard for the Orioles to see. So there was a nice gain. That makes it third and what'd you say, 3 there?
3rd and 2 from
Third
the
and 2?
39 is what they have.
We'll take
And
that, 3rd and
Looks
2.
like they have entered into Oriole territories from the
Yep.
other 39-yard line.
So let's see what.
As
There's a direct snap.
still pushing forward. Let's see
Was
where
that
they spot
Prusman?
it. Believe it was Marcus Prusman on the carry.
Yep.
Sure enough, and that
There's
will be
a
enough
first
for a first
down.
down.
Nice
They're gonna
job
move the
by
chains.
Marcus, and we're at 7:35.
Gonna go ahead and take another timeout.
Yep,
It
this looks like is this our
yep,
sanitation timeout?
sanitation timeout.
So, well, just just when we say there hasn't been a long drive,
Sure enough, out they
Wildcats are
come.
putting together. And you know what, though? This is great for the Wildcats.
This is what we needed.
It puts pressure on the Orioles to have to play some defense. Demeen's out there playing defense. You know, kind of chewing up the clock. And really, to be honest, that's the way you're going to get back in the game is you don't want super long drives, but we need to take some time off the clock, score, and then be able to hold them. That's going to be the key is we've got to be able to contain and force them to punt a couple times. We can't let them keep getting the big plays. So maybe we can give a shout out here to Next Bank.
Yeah, for sure. Each person and family has unique financial needs. That's why we offer a variety of personal banking and lending products. We offer everything you need for your personal financial success, from checking and savings accounts to loans and online services. Next Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, so
Wildcats coming
back
back onto
out.
the field, and they're just going to come straight up to the line of scrimmage, it looks like.
looks like Klosterman and
I think that might be Greif in the backfield, and Greif and Klosterman, it looks like.
yeah.
So a young backfield there, sophomore and freshman, and it's going to be a direct snap to Prusman, I think that was, playing the fullback position.
There's Marcus again.
Pushes forward for a couple, maybe two.
not even one. Yeah.
We'll see where they spot
But you know
it.
that's not a bad play. Kind of keeps them honest, and you can't just focus on whether it's Cole or Lucas or whoever's has the hot hand back there.
Silver coming back onto the field now. He's
Yep.
going to call the play in the huddle. Got him a little bit of a breather there, so let's see if he can come out here and get something going on the offensive end for the Wildcats. Klosterman and Silver in the backfield. Prusman still playing that fullback position, just a yard or two off the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be fumbled. Not a bad snap, but just didn't catch it.
Who what?
Silver is going to be taken down for a big loss.
Gosh, the
It wasn't
Wildcats
necessarily a bad snap per se, but
just
was mishandled back
Yeah.
there. I think both Cole and Aiden were like halfway between catching it, and they ended up neither of them caught it. So that is going to be a
huge loss,
very
man.
big
15
loss.
yards, 20.
3rd and 27 officially
Jeez.
from the 27-yard line.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a difficult situation for the
You
Wildcats.
know, and this is kind of what we talked about. I mean, you know, you got 2 plays basically to get this. You don't have to get in one, but if you could get a chunk here, you know, give yourself a chance potentially.
Pick up 10, 15.
Oh, you got to – what's going on, guys? Now, this is just a matter – you know what? We talked about this. Who's that, Aiden?
Yep, that was Aiden
That's a
back
freshman. And it's just a matter of trying to make something happen before, you know, you can tell he wants to really make something happen, and you just got to wait. You got to catch the ball. This is going to be a good test. You know, there's another loss, so we almost have to punt now.
Yep, they've got Hansen out there, so it looks like they're set up to punt. Cole's heading back.
We're about where we started this thing. So
Little
unfortunate.
low punt. He does get to the way, though.
Oh, there's going to be – oh, they're going to say he nicked it. What in the heck? Why did they blow the whistle before the ball even landed?
Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. I think they'd blow the whistle if they hit the punter maybe, but not if they got the
Like
ball.
he as soon as he ran into the punter, he blew it dead. It's like if it's not a penalty, you still got to let him play it out.
Right.
What I don't know what's going on. Are they re-kicking? That is weird. So Cole kind of bobbled it, and Springville came in and almost blocked it and ran into Cole. And then the
They are going to
official,
re-punt it.
the official was like saying he tied. That was weird. I don't know what's going on there. And what are
And
they
another
doing?
whistle, as though the snap was bobbled, but play is called
And
dead.
some of that bobbling is just right now the Hawks, the Wildcats have to get mentally back in, and there was nothing wrong with that snap, and like Aiden, the ball was.
They've gone all the way back to 4th and 36, so they can't afford anything else going wrong here on the.
Are they
attempt
calling
to punt
penalties on us? Are they
I
just?
don't think we moved back at all. That punt just gets
That's
away,
right.
nearly blocked.
And that's.
Menster's going to be underneath of it, and Hansen gets juked out.
Yep. Like right there, you got to make a decision and go hit somebody, and our gunner gets down there, and they get around him, and now they're going to be at midfield, if not over midfield. You know, Jaden Hansen did a great job of being down there. He just wasn't able to make the tackle.
And I know from 4 years of Myers practices, they practice every day. We have maybe a 15, 20-minute session where we just work on basic fundamentals of tackling.
He just was hesitant.
Once again, that's his first. This
yeah.
is his first varsity football game or high school football game for that matter. So
Yeah.
definitely some nerves as Orioles taking possession of the ball.
Yep. So the Wildcats are on defense here. Orioles have 3 in the backfield, and they hand it off to.
I think that's Demeen going to the right. He's got room to work,
Oh,
and he is
Jesus,
going
and
to go
just-
into the end zone.
God, just somebody slipped and fell. Was that Aiden Klosterman? I couldn't tell. I mean,
Yeah,
just.
might have been.
But I do see a flag, David, and it's probably going to be coming back. I'm hoping.
Let's see what the call is.
Hopefully, it's holding.
Can't see what he's doing with his arms. He didn't point either way. So looks
These
like
officials, yeah.
he is pointing
To
in the Orioles'
Springville.
way. So he's going to
You
come
can tell
back.
it's the officials' first game, maybe, huh?
Yeah.
Not to say that they haven't made good calls or bad calls, but they're letting us, as far as like letting us know what the heck's
Yeah,
going on.
I feel like their
It's
calls have been fine. It's just
they haven't like done a good job of like making the sign so the fans know what the heck's going on.
and it's extra hard for us because we're facing the officials back.
Right? Yeah, they're
not in
not
the home
turning
press
around and
box.
doing the home right. All right, so we're in the third quarter with 5 minutes and 6 seconds left. It's 32-14. Wildcats just punted.
First and 20 from midfield after the penalty on
Yep.
first down.
So the Orioles
have
are going to
ball.
have 3 in the backfield. They're going to have one split to the top, one to the bottom, and it looks like Wilson's going to throw the ball. And
Good
it's-
coverage there by Marshall, but
Oh!
he gets the ball is caught right over top of him.
Alex Kopis. Oh. Yeah.
That was good coverage for Marshall,
Yeah.
but what is he listed
just
at?
got
5'7"?
Well, I think Marshall turned his head and didn't realize that whereas Kopis had already turned and saw that the ball was going to be a little underthrown, and he was able to adjust. So you got to give Kopis credit there.
Nice catch
Marshall,
there by Alex Kopis.
Yeah, Marshall was right there. So here's that 2-point conversion. So Luke Menster, he finds somebody. I don't
Wide
know. The
open in the
Wildcats,
back of the end zone.
and as a coach, I'm just going to put my coaching hat on here, and I mean, you've heard this probably too, is like we talked. This is where the Wildcats, I know they're freshmen, but like you said, they practice tackling. They've been practicing these offenses, and like you've got to communicate, and that kid was wide. I mean, there was a miscommunication, and hopefully, I mean, I will say this: all the stuff that's happening is stuff that like the Wildcats can work on it and get
for
better.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, Demeen is probably one of the best backs that they're going to see, maybe, well, except for like Don Bosco, but you've got to, you got to learn from these, and some of the stuff we're shooting ourselves in the foot. I mean,
It's one thing to just get manhandled and they're just better than you, but
right. I mean,
I wouldn't say that's been the case tonight.
we've
It's
had at
just-
least how many snaps, and this isn't anything against Troy either, but it hasn't always been his fault. There's been a couple that have been bad snaps, but then there's been a couple where just, like you said, that one between Cole and Aiden, it kind of was like, it's like we're not sure sometimes, but.
You kind of mentioned it. They're like trying to
and
go before
almost,
they actually have the ball.
Like you could tell Aiden was like, I want to get as much as I can, and you got to have the ball first. So I don't know if that was Gabe again.
believe it was. As Van
Yep.
de Vet fields the kick, he's going to
We need to.
cut it back up the field. He's
Come
got
on.
some room to work. He's still
Oh,
going. Finally
there we
taken down
He gets
past
rolled.
the 35. Nice return there by Marshall.
Yeah, nice return. Marshall's had some good returns.
Yes, he has.
Now we just have to, and actually we came out and we had some good offense going that last series, and then we just kind of shoot ourselves in the foot with a bad snap or a just mishandled ball.
A repeat of last drive before the bad snaps would be really good, and if we can continue that
Right.
all the way to the end zone.
But we mentally just have to stay in it on defense, and everybody's got to try to stay sharp. I don't care if you're losing by 1 or 100, you got to give yourself a chance. So the Wildcats are back at it here.
Got 3 in the backfield, and looks like some miscommunication, false start perhaps.
Yeah,
And
that's-
Wildcats are going back. looks
Again,
like.
that's just mentally right now being a little bit frustrated. And my thing as a coach is like I don't care if we're down, but what if we're in this situation and we're down by 1 score and we need to come up with a drive, You can't let a play or something like that. You've got to try to just keep keep getting better. So it is the first game. Almost didn't look
Snap
like they
taken
did.
by Silver. Looks
Yep.
like he's going out to the right. Strong run taken down by a couple of Orioles.
Yep. So we've got 40-14 with 4:40 to go in the third quarter.
Can't quite get us back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd and 13 at the 34-yard line. Still in our own territory.
So I just saw, looks like Jack Kramer checked in. Looks like the Wildcats are going to here in a passing look.
Looks like it's Greif going to take the snap. And yep,
Yep.
Greif's going to look to throw. Not bad protection there by the line.
Oh,
It's going to be
nice.
caught.
What
That's
a
Vandevet.
ball.
He's got a chance
Oh,
maybe.
oh,
the 20.
if Jack could have got a block a little, he tried, but the guy just got around him. I'll tell you what, that was a nice throw by Lucas. Good
Throw and a
route
good
by,
catch there by Marshall.
yep, nice route.
After the catch, took it outside to the
And
far
got-
side of the field. And got
got-
some good yardage
Did some
after
yardage,
the catch.
so
Was
there's-
Luke Menster taking him down there about the 15-yard line.
So there's a big first down for the Wildcats. That gets us inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line. So we got first and 10, and we can get a first down here. We don't have to score. This would be huge if the Wildcats can score. We need a touchdown. Right here, Tristan Diedeker just checked in late. Tristan's been playing like that tight end spot.
As snaps
Oh, there's
low,
another.
it's going to be picked up. We got a
that-
chance to do something. I think that's Cole. He is going to have
Yeah.
positive yardage on
Yeah,
that
he gets
play.
down to the 10.
He got about 5 yards as
Yep.
he just scooped it up off the
Yep.
ground and got
Nice,
moving to the
nice
outside of
heads
the
up
field.
play there by Cole.
Looks like it's not going to be quite as long as we originally
Oh,
thought.
he must have
maybe.
stepped out of
Must have stepped out
bounds.
of bounds. It's
Yeah.
going to be about 2nd and 8 maybe,
Yep.
somewhere around there. But
We just
still
gotta,
good job of making something out of
Mhm.
nothing there by Cole.
for sure. So it looks like it's going to be
We've got 2nd and 8 from
Marshall
the
and
13-yard line.
Marshall and Cole are going in, and it's going to be
Jack Kramer
Jack
also
Kramer
coming into the
going
game.
in, and Tristan coming out. Tristan Diedeker.
Wildcats break the huddle onto the line of scrimmage. It's like Marshall and can't quite tell who's, but Marshall's going to take the
Yep.
snap, going out to the right, and the Orioles are right there. It looked like Glockner might have been the first
Yep.
one there, but Oriole defense does a nice job
Yep.
there, just shutting it down. He's going to lose a couple.
Yep, lost about 3 there. Went from
Yep, that's what it looks like.
2nd and 8 to 3rd and about
Third and
about 3 yards he lost
Yep,
there.
3rd and about 11, back to
Yep.
16. We've got 3:10 to go here in the third quarter. Once again, the score is Orioles 40, Wildcats 14 as the Wildcats break the huddle. Cole Silver's in the backfield here. It looks like Aiden Klosterman to his right. Takes the snap, and Cole's going to keep it himself.
There's a run.
He's
there's
got a
a
chance
run.
on
Come
the
on,
outside, and he's going to be in maybe.
Cole. Touchdown.
One says touchdown, one says
did
one official said touchdown.
Oh, he's
and
calling him out of bounds at like
the official in the middle of the field called
said
touchdown,
touchdown.
but the official on the sideline nearest the play
said he
called out at the
stepped
1.
out inside the 1.5 yard line, don't you think?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
man.
even a full yard.
So, but the positive is it's a first down, so the Wildcats have
Got 4 chances
4
to get
chances
less
to
than
get
a
it
yard.
in. So let's go Wildcats. Let's punch this in. This will be a big boost for us. That was a nice run by Cole Silver.
It was a good job. He got to the outside, had some
Mhm.
room, and almost got into the end zone. One
Yep.
of the officials even signaled touchdown.
Yeah.
Same formation. Gonna go to close to
God,
him.
oh,
Oh,
there's
there's
a
a flag.
flag.
There's a flag.
It's like our hands need to come up here instead of we got them down here. We just need them up a little higher.
Let's
direct
see
snap
what the
to
flag
Klosterman.
is.
Oh, jeez.
Although that's probably the best false start we've had all night, considering the alternative being a
'cause-
fumble and a big loss. So
Yeah, we're actually going to be better off because otherwise it would have been behind the 10-yard line.
so now we got 1st and goal from the 6 after the
Yep.
5-yard penalty. It
And
would
it
have been
stays first down, too.
right. We would have
Because
lost it
otherwise we
down.
would have lost it and
we probably go
would've been
back
about
at
12-yard line.
At least 10 yards
Yeah.
lost on the play.
All right, Wildcats need to punch this in. Get those hands ready, guys. God,
Aiden
come
drops
on.
it again, and he can't find the ball, and he does get on top of it.
Jesus, come on, Aiden.
And that one's not a bad snap. That's
No,
just
that was just right through his
mishandled.
hands. And Cole was out that time,
Cole's
and he's going to be coming back in.
threw his helmet back on, and he's
Yep.
going to have to go back in there.
So we've got
You can tell Aiden's frustrated with
Yep.
himself.
Yeah,
And he's
and
coming off the
again,
field.
it's kind of one of those things. He's not watching the ball all the way, and he wants to he's thinking about what hole he wants to hit, and he's just not watching the ball. He just threw the gloves off. He's like, screw these gloves.
So we got 2nd and goal from the 16 as
So we
Cole
got-
takes the
they're gonna
snap.
call procedure, I bet you. I don't
Another
know how
flag
that
out
guy's
there.
back here is calling procedure, but Marcus does sometimes have a tendency to lean a little bit. They got to hold their.
And sure enough, procedure is called against the Wildcats, and that's, I believe, another 5 yards.
God, we had it on what, the foot
We were at
line. So we're
Less than a
2nd and
yard,
goal.
And now it's 2nd and goal from the 21.
20. God,
One official even had us in the end zone.
yeah.
And now
one-
we're 21 yards away.
Yeah. It's 2nd down. Come on, guys. Let's put something together here. We got the same. This time.
Cole's going to take the snap. He's going to throw.
Oh,
High wobbly throw. Intercepted. No.
no.
I think that was Alex Kopis.
What was Dustin Ferris was down by Marcus Prusman for the. Isn't that like.
Was Dustin a receiver on that play?
That's Dustin Ferris, but he was right where him and Marcus were like right in the same area.
If he wasn't lined up as a receiver, then
I mean,
but maybe he was
tight
lined up as a
end.
tight end position. I didn't see where he
Cole's
was before
arm
the
kind of
play.
got hit.
Yeah, he kind of got hit as he threw.
Yeah.
And
I'd
Alex
like him to see
Kopis-
more. If you're gonna pass, I'd like to see Lucas Greif threw a
yeah,
great
he had
ball.
had that nice throw to Marshall that got
Yeah.
us down here.
Yeah.
And 3rd and long now.
There-
as
there he is.
Lucas is going to throw. He's got some pressure. Gets a
Nice.
nice
Oh,
throw away,
that's
but
gonna be a
Menster's
pick
going to
six.
intercept it.
Is that Menster?
Menster got a
Yeah.
hold of it, and he's
Uh,
going to be taken down, but
that's
not before the long return.
yeah.
Once again, we kind of like
He
in
kind
the
of
first
stepped in
half.
that one. That one again was that a miscommunication because it looked like Greif was kind of throwing it down, or like kind of to a spot, and the receiver was going down, and it could have just been good.
He also had quite a bit of pressure in his face
Yeah,
from the
he did.
defensive line,
So if somebody's down over there on the sideline.
can't even tell.
was
It
a
looks like it might
Wildcat.
be one of our guys.
Yeah, looks like an ankle. Hopefully it's just a cramp. I can't tell who it is over there. I see Cole. I see Greif.
Whoever it is just
Oh,
got
it's
back
just a
up on their own
cramp.
power. It looks
Yep.
like
Is that Wade Yoder?
Yoder. Yep.
Looks like just a cramping up there.
Just-
Surprised we haven't seen more of those, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um,
It's been, like we said, it's been
hot
hot all week.
and
even
sometimes it's
now,
hard to keep the hydration, even if you are, you lose so much
It
football
started
there.
to cool down a little bit tonight,
Yeah,
but it's
for
still
sure.
it's still got some heat tonight. And if you're just joining us, Orioles are leading 40-14 here. We got 1:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. Orioles are going to take possession of the ball in pretty good field positioning after Luke Menster intercepted the pass on that last play.
They're going to have it at. It's going to be in Wildcat territory, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be well past midfield,
Yeah.
maybe about the 30.
We got 1:47 left here in the 3rd quarter.
Oriole offense breaking the huddle.
So the Orioles are going to be in their split receivers, top and bottom, and then 3 in the backfield. And it looks like, to be honest, I really can't tell their numbers, but I'm just assuming.
Oh, they've got a chance. Whoever the runner was, and he's going to get into the end
that's
zone.
just poor tackling right
And
there.
I think that was Demeen once again. We talked about it in
Yep.
pregame. He's going to be a key for them all year, and he showed it tonight. 46-14 our score after
Yep.
Demeen with another nice run into the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, we had him. The Wildcats had their hands on him. It's just a matter of wrapping up.
Got to wrap up.
I mean, and the thing is, the kid's strong. We've played against him before and that kind of stuff. It isn't like, they've watched film on him. So they're going to go for their 2-point conversion here. And they got Menster again. They're kind of all spread to the right in the center. They got somebody in motion this time. Luke
Nice
gets
hit.
nailed by
That was Cole Silver.
Cole Silver.
Mentioned a couple
He
times.
freaking-
He's a hard hitter, but Luke Menster can tell you
He
personally now that
laid
Cole Silver hits hard.
He laid Menster out, and Luke was gonna pitch it. They brought somebody in motion this time to give Luke another option. And right when he was pitching it, Cole just leveled him. And did a Wildcat fall on that? Must have fallen on that. Or is
Yeah,
that a
must
dead
have.
ball? If it
I'm on a conversion.
then
I
it's a
think
dead
it's a
ball.
dead ball.
they can't. It doesn't. Yeah, it's a dead ball. So they're one for all their touchdowns that two. They
got
got
the one in the back
over
of the end
there
zone
and the
over
one over
there.
there. So really, it's 46-14. Wildcats have done a really pretty good job on the 2-point conversion defense. We just it's a lot. Just executing really right now. The Wildcats are just being out executed. It's not that they're being outplayed. Our guys are playing hard. It's just that we're not wrapping up, and that's part of executing. You got to finish the tackle, and then on offense, we're just at those snaps. And some of it's not Troy. I mean, it just doesn't. Our guys are trying to run and do some things before they get the ball.
Van de Vet's going to field the kickoff and
see if he can bust one. He's come close a couple times.
Going to be taken down by a couple of Orioles there.
Yeah. That's the one thing, David, and you played with Trey and with Isaiah, and I will say, and they had obviously a lot of experience, and we've got a lot of young guys back there. It was just, they would just stand there and they'd get the snap, and sometimes before they even did anything, they would just stop and look and see. And Trey and Isaiah both, I can remember, sometimes did such a good job of following their blocks. They'd actually almost put their hand right on the back.
Yeah, they would actually put their hand on the back of the
blocker
guy in front
for
of
them. And it looks like a little bit with Lucas a little bit, and especially like Aiden, they're not being patient. They want to try to do something right away, and they're not letting things go. So there's a snap.
Lucas is going to take the ball, but he's going to be taken down.
Yep.
Short gain, if anything. And that's just something that comes with experience of getting rep after rep in the varsity game.
And I mean, that didn't just happen to Isaiah and Trey overnight, but it's just something I noticed, and that's what something is. Once they got their confidence, and they would just follow those blockers, and you can just see Aiden's so anxious. He just wants to go, and he's not being patient to let. Sometimes as a back, you got to just kind of go, and then see your hole, and then boom, you hit your hole.
Patience is key, and then especially if you have breakaway speed, just explode through there. As Lucas is all by himself in the backfield, he's going to try to pass. He's got pressure, balls in the air, and
again,
nobody
he
there.
threw it to nobody. Either he was pressured, so either he just threw it to throw it away, or else our route was broken off. And
there was a lot of pressure right away there. I've kind of noticed throughout the game, our quarterbacks have had less and less time to throw. Maybe that's just a stamina thing. Guys aren't probably in as good a shape right now as they will be here in 4 or 5 weeks.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 9 for the Wildcats.
About the 24-yard line.
So a big play right here. We're going to be taking if it's something manageable.
Greif with a little gain there, but it's going to be 4th down.
I don't know. This is always a tough thing. It's like you're down, so you need to go for it. And then if you go for it, I guess he didn't get as much as I thought. We almost have to punt.
It's going to be 4th and long, 4th and.
No, that was Klosterman who.
Jack Kramer just came to the sidelines with maybe a cramp. He's getting stretched out by our trainer over there on the sidelines, so probably just a cramp.
So are we gonna? I bet you we've got 10-9. I think coach is gonna just let the half end here, or the quarter. I'm sorry, 3rd quarter end. It looks like they're just gonna. There's the end of the 3rd quarter. So the Wildcats are 14, Springville 46. And that's going to be at the end of the 3rd quarter. We probably need to give Next Bank shout out.
Next Bank combines the values of a locally owned, independent Eastern Iowa community bank with expanded services and the latest technology to meet our customers' fast-moving lifestyle. Bank on your success with Next Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Oh, this is went from a really interesting game there the 1st quarter.
I believe end of the 1st, we were tied 14 apiece, I want to say.
Into the 2nd quarter, and then we just had that one. We had that opportunity, 1st and goal on the 4-yard line, and we had a bad snap, and we just weren't able to convert that. And then
from there, things just kind of
the wheels just fell off. Springville got the ball, and they scored 3 times in a row in the 1st half. And that just kind of, yeah, Jack's getting stretched out, just kind of took it out of us. I mean, I'm sure Springville was favored coming in, and, you know, because we do have a lot of young guys out there. And I've seen some, we've been impressed with some of those younger guys. It's a matter of just putting everything together, you know.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of good things tonight. It's just, like you just
Consistent.
said, we have to, and that's kind of to be expected with a young
Right.
team.
Just unfortunately, it's against Springville, you know. So we're starting the fourth quarter, and the Wildcats are fourth down and about 8?
They've got 9 on the scoreboard, but it
Well,
looks
we're
like
8 to me.
8.
And
from where
we're on
sitting.
our own 25-yard line. I mean, at this point, you're just punting.
They are
just-
set up to go for it, though.
No.
Troy's out there at center,
Yeah.
and Cole's in the backfield
Yeah,
alongside Aiden
but they're
Klosterman.
looking confused.
I don't think the Oriole defense was expecting a play, but
Oh, they called timeout. Oh,
yeah, I do think we
timeout.
had some miscommunication
Yeah.
there, and we're going to take a timeout.
This is where potentially you could do like the pooch kick, you know, like the direct, like make it look like you're gonna
We did a lot of that last season with
yeah, Nick.
Nick Reed. Back
Yep.
he would, because he played quarterback, of course, for us, and he would line up in the same quarterback position, but he would
Yeah,
punt the ball.
yeah. And they've got Cole back there, and Cole's been doing our punting, you know. The thing with that I like is a lot of times, I mean, you kind of force them to not have a person deep, and if you can get a good kick, you can it'll roll.
Just let it roll,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, some teams may drop somebody back quick, but
More times than not, it's just going to end up rolling. And if you can get a good roll,
Yeah.
then you can,
oh yeah, I
Turn a
mean, turn
good
it
punt
into a
into a great
40-yard
punt.
punt.
for sure.
So we'll see here what the Wildcats are going to do. It looks like you said it.
Still
it
looks like they've got the offense out
Yep.
there after the timeout.
Troy Curtis is going to go up here, and they do have Cole, and looks
I-
like Marcus is in that fullback
I
spot.
think that's
Aiden,
Aiden, yep.
yep, Aiden Klosterman out there.
And there's the snap. Aiden's going to take it, hang on to it, going over to the outside. He's
Oh,
got a nice
yeah!
run. Did he get the first
Nice.
down? It was a good run.
Awesome job right there. You know, we just talked about it. Just
And
he
that
was,
will move the chains.
yeah, that
nice
was
job.
huge. Freshman Aiden Klosterman takes that snap and got some good blocks, and he was able to get to the outside.
And that's the consistency thing, because
Yeah.
Aiden can do
Yeah,
that. He is
he
absolutely
yes.
capable of having nice runs like that. He's just got to
Get his confidence
almost
and like
a mental thing
yeah,
at this point.
Yep. Ye-
It's Cole Silver back
huge,
into the game
huge
for the
play for the
Wildcats.
Wildcats. So that's going to be first down, and they puts them on the 35. So we're in good field position here. See if the Wildcats can't punch it in.
Got Silver and Klosterman in the backfield. Prusman at the fullback spot. Silver's going to take the snap, I believe. He's going over to the outside.
Yes,
Good strong run, but
got a couple.
just a cup, maybe
At
2-3
least it's
yards.
a positive when we're going forward. You know,
Right,
that's
right.
the biggest thing.
If you can get 3 to 4 yards on
Yep.
every play, you'll be all right. So it's going to be 2nd and 7. They'll give them 3 on the carry. Ball spotted at the 38-yard line, still in Wildcat territory. Silver heading back out there with the
I tell
play
you
call.
what, Cole's come in and done a nice job the second half. You know, Ethan kind of started in this position. Lucas Greif hasn't done a bad job.
Cole's definitely done a big job,
Yeah,
or a good
I-
job of stepping up in this
Yeah.
spot. As
No, there's a-
Klosterman's going to take the carry again. Another nice carry.
Yeah,
Nothing huge, but maybe 2 or 3 yards, and we'll take
but
that.
positive. It's going to be.
Absolutely. We'll see what they give him, but good forward progress there. Looks like they're going to give him about 2, 3rd and 5. They're going to say 3rd and a long 4. Looks like we did break into Oriole territory.
Well, this is good because this is basically 2 down territory for us now.
Right. Yeah, there's
So
no
this
use
is
in us
way
punting at this
manageable.
point.
Yeah. So it's way manageable. So this is where you kind of talked about it. Aiden just has to relax. If he gets a snap, just let something happen. You don't have to get, a touchdown right on this carry.
And it's going to be
And another
mishandled, and it's
snap.
on the ground, and the
now
Orioles are going to pick it up.
Yep. Cole couldn't see where it was. and he was trying to pick it up maybe versus fall on it.
It looked like it was a little over to his left.
Yeah,
he
he
tried to
just couldn't-
one-hand it, and he couldn't quite get it.
That's always kind of one of those things. It's like just fall on, or just pick it up. You can, so it's hard.
It's one thing if it's fourth down, then you just
yeah,
have to do what you
yeah.
can. But on third down, especially
Just
in the
fall on
situation.
it, that we still have the ball. But again, there we go. It wasn't necessarily anything Springville did. Is that we're stopping ourselves on a lot of these offensive series, just with those snaps or mishandling the snaps. So.
It's going to be 1st and 10. Orioles have it at the 33 of the Wildcats.
Yep, so there's going to be a direct snap to, is that Demeen still
I
in?
believe it's Demeen. He's got a chance down the sideline, and he is going to go into the end zone. Another touchdown for the Orioles. It was Spencer Demeen there on the carry. He's just had those breakaway plays so far today, and another one there. So 52-14 with a 2-point conversion yet to come. We've got 9:45 to play.
Well, we'll see if we can stop this 2-point conversion. We've done a pretty good job of that.
That's definitely one of the high points tonight.
Yeah,
In a closer game, if you can stop the 2-point
yeah. I mean, this
conversions, you'll
could,
be in good shape.
realistically, and we know we've talked already. We with Marshall getting that. So there goes Cole
Cole
again
back
after,
there again.
and he gas him again.
Looked like he grabbed him by the seat of his pants almost
Yeah,
and brings him to the ground.
And he just spun him down. Cole's got Luke Menster's number, boy.
Cole's done a great job at that position.
Yeah.
The last 3 or 4 times, he's just been right there.
And even the time that Menster got the pass off, Cole was right there. Just they just did a quick pass before Cole could do anything. So that's a highlight for the Wildcats. And defensively, we've just got to be able to tackle better. We can't. I mean, we're just letting him get to he gets to the edge, and I don't know. I mean, you're the ex-football players that our linebackers getting blocked inside, and
a lot of times. And then
and the
also the key is you have to have the defensive backs to have the touchdown saving tackle as their responsibility. And
we're just not getting. We'd almost think you almost have to spy. I mean, I don't know. I guess I didn't see on that last one. Did they have receivers split to the? They only had one person. I mean, so the thing is, you knew he was going to get the ball.
it's almost like last basketball season. Every team knew Nick Reed was going to get the ball. It's kind of the same situation out here.
He was the only one in the backfield. You knew the snap was going to go to him, and he hasn't thrown the ball yet. I'd almost say, hey, let him. So there's Deloy, and he's
ends up a pretty good kick. Van Vet has it at the 15, past the 20, and he
nice.
Almost lost the ball,
Yeah,
but he
held
holds
on
on to it
to
for a
it.
pretty nice return. Almost had a bit of a breakaway there.
27?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to spot it right around the 27-yard line.
Yep. Marshall's gotten us some pretty good field position, usually up around the 30, anywhere between the 25 and 35-yard line. I mean, we've had some decent starting position. We've had a couple where we maybe had those penalties and stuff, but
we've had very few just bad returns. It's either been penalties or something else. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily Marshall's control.
So it looks like Lucas Greif and Aiden. Lucas is going to take Cole's spot this time. Not a bad thing. If we know what Cole can do, let's let Lucas get some opportunities here, especially.
Yeah, it's going to be Lucas taking the snap, Aiden taking the snap. And he's going to be wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be a loss.
Yeah, it is. That's not. We've been doing a lot better job of blocking and getting the. At that time, there was.
Just wasn't any
a
room
little
there
breakdown
to go.
there.
Oriole defense was right in the backfield. So 2nd and 14 from the 23-yard line as the Wildcats have it.
Got 9:10 to play here in the fourth quarter.
Wildcats up to the line. Looks like it is Klosterman and Greif once again in the backfield.
Is that Prusman at the fullback?
I believe that's Prusman, but
looks.
And it's going to be Klosterman again. Pretty nice run, but
got up
we'll see if he has anything
back
to
up
show
to the
for
line
it.
of scrimmage. The original line of scrimmage.
I saw him make a nice cut and then gain a couple yards.
Yep.
So it's still going to be 3rd and long. Looks like they're not going to give him
they didn't
as much as we thought.
I thought he got up there a little further. Yeah, so basically no gain, huh?
Yeah, I think they're going to call it no gain. And it's still going to be 3rd and 14 on the 23.
Let's see what here the Wildcats can do. Yeah, so Marcus is in at that fullback spot.
As Prusman's going to take the direct snap at the fullback's position, and he's going to push his
Gets
way
it,
forward
yep.
for a couple. Looks like he did get
A
just
little,
to maybe
yeah.
just past the original line of scrimmage, but it's still going to be 4th down. As looks like they're planning on going for it.
So it's going to be 4th and 10 from about the 27-yard line. 28. Here, Cole's coming back in.
See if Cole can get something going here on 4th down.
So it's going to be Cole. And is that Marcus stays in and Aiden
Looks like Aiden's
stays
still in the
in.
backfield with Cole. As Cole takes the direct snap, he's going to...
Block for him.
Oh,
Oh,
they
geez,
got him
that's
pretty
not
high,
a-
and the flag
yeah,
is out.
I was going to say, you
They-
know, somebody came flying in there for Springville, and I'm not sure who it was.
They got him high, and looks like...
They pulled him around the neck.
I'm assuming they're going to call
That'll be
face
a
mask.
15-yard penalty, personal
Yep.
foul. Yeah.
I believe so.
You know, we've mentioned his name. Him and Jack have been kind of subbing in and out. Yeah. Have been subbing in and out kind of at that tight end position.
Yep.
Is Tristan Diedeker. Talk about a kid who's gotten big from the weight room.
Oh,
is
absolutely.
Tristan. He is totally dedicated to lifting, and he has gotten. I mean, that's the reason he's out there right now, because
Absolutely.
he's not. Tristan Diedeker's about 5'8", and
he's not just like a naturally big,
No,
strong
and
kid. He had to work for
they
it.
say
but
5'10". I think they're fudging on that, unless he grew a couple inches, because he's pretty much, I was eye to eye with him last year, and I'm about maybe 5'9", and he has gotten so strong. I mean, and that's why they have him out there. You know,
ball's fumbled again. Marshall will be able to get on top of it. It looks
So
like, but
Cole tried to hand it off, and Marshall just didn't get it. Again, another execution thing. You know, it's just we're just killing ourselves offensively.
the one bright side is that's a lot more easy to correct than
Yes.
just kids not being
Yes.
big enough and fast enough
Mhm.
and strong enough.
Mhm.
That's the one positive.
And the snaps too. I mean,
Yeah.
those are all things that, that's the encouraging thing. And unfortunately, it comes. I mean, it doesn't matter who you're playing, but some of these guys are going to have to be learning in games. You know, Aiden maybe's playing more tonight than he thought he would, or
Right.
or Lucas. You know, Ethan goes down with the hand injury. We don't know if it's going to be just a tonight, or if it's, you know. So now this is there's somebody
Looks
new.
like, I think it was Betzer took the
that-
carry. Yep, looks like number 32.
Yep.
Arwin
We talked about
Betzer.
him. There's a sophomore.
Was Al Burnett last year as a
yep.
freshman, but
So-
back at Central City as a sophomore.
So he has
He's looked good tonight in
Yeah.
the playing time he's gotten. He's done
Yeah.
a good job on both. I think this is his first offensive, at least first time I've seen him out there. But he's done a really good job.
yeah.
on
Well, he was on
defense.
defense We've seen him on defense mostly, but
He
yeah,
was playing some nose guard and
Yeah,
had some
yeah.
nice tackles. Was in on a
But
lot of plays.
they have him as a sophomore, listed as 6'1", 190. So I mean, he's a little taller than Marcus, probably a little bigger than Marcus,
Mhm.
and I don't know, speed wise, I guess we can find out. He moved pretty well there.
Yeah, he looked good there at the fullback position. As
Oh, is that going to be a?
looks like Central
Oh.
City's going to call timeout.
So we're
I
at
want to
5.
say that's our second.
Yeah, 5:45 left. It's 14-52. Hopefully the Wildcats can keep this going and get a score here and take a little time off the clock. And you know, the score's probably not what Coach Myers wanted. And but like you said, you know, we talked about it. There's been some good stuff.
Oh, for sure.
You know, unfortunately, there's been some bad stuff.
But even when we have had those bad plays before that, a lot of times we've had the
we
good
were
plays.
we've been inside the 5-yard twice and didn't score tonight. Didn't
When
even
you-
get any points.
When you look at the box score and see 52-14, that doesn't tell the story of
Mhm.
us being down at the 4 and then,
And then
not
at
being
the
able to punch it
1.
in, and down at the 1 on
yeah,
this end.
so we've had 2 times. There's 2 scores right now. You know, and then like we talked, chances are we're going to get the extra points. There's 14 points that we could have on the board. That makes a big difference on what the score. You know,
And if we're able to do that, then they
Then there's
probably don't get as good a field positioning
Right.
to start because Marshall can get into the end zone. So
and also, you know, that just gives you a little more pep on defense.
Yep.
You know, you got you're a little more. You know, it's mentally, it just gives you that little surge that you need. So
it's going to be 3rd and 12. We've got 3 in the backfield. Snap's going to go to Silver, using Betzer as a
Pulse.
lead blocker,
yeah,
and
come
he's
on.
going to get a couple. They're still pushing him back. He's still fighting.
Look, I feel like he got past the original line of scrimmage a little
Forward
bit.
progress will probably bring him
So
forward.
that puts it at, I mean, it's not where you want, but 4th and 9.
A good
And
thing
at
I
this
saw right
point-
there, you kind of mentioned it earlier, he was kind of using Betzer as that lead
Yeah,
blocker.
I saw that. Yeah, he put
Almost
his-
like had his hand up
Yep.
on there.
And that's where Arwen too, he's going to get better at that blocking, you know. Sometimes if this is his first offensive series, it's just a matter of getting into the flow of things.
So 4th and 9 from right around midfield for the Wildcats. And
There it
Betzer's going
is.
to take it. Nice
There he
run.
goes.
He's still going.
And that's going to be
They're still pushing him forward. We'll see where they spot
keep
it. But
pushing him. That's a first down, I think, isn't it, David?
it's going to be close. We'll see.
Yep,
It looks
I
like they
think-
are
yeah,
going to. Yep,
first
first
down.
down. Nice
Wow.
job by Arwen Betzer.
That's two times. I mean, I'm going to say Arwen's kind of technically a freshman when it comes to our program.
Right.
He got a big carry, and Aiden Closerman got that carry on
Yeah, two
on
4th
third,
and longs.
on 4th and 9s, and they both got those. So that's encouraging. And you got to give credit to the line. We've got Brady Kuba out there, Dustin Ferris, and I think Wade Yoder's been out there. And, you know, we were talking about Tristan Diedeker on that tight end / blocking position down there. He's, 5'9". He's on the line blocking, and so you got to give them credit. We're going to
go
do
back
that
to
again,
Betzer.
but
Not
this time
anything
they
there at
slid.
that time.
Yeah, they slid through the block there.
What I really like right now is it's 52-14. Our guys know they're not going to come back and win it tonight,
But
they're still playing hard.
Yeah.
They're still giving it everything they've got out there.
So that, as a coach, you got to like that. They haven't. I mean, I'm sure they're dejected, but they've still stuck their heads in there, and they've overcome a lot of the adversity, as far as the bad snaps and stuff like that.
When you
You
see
gotta
young teams, a lot of times
Yeah.
they just put their heads down
Yeah,
and quit.
and it's like 100.
But they haven't done that tonight.
Yeah, I like that. When we talked about it, I don't really know too much about Easton Valley, but it's gonna be a tough game next week. I'm sure they've got some pretty good athletes down there. But I know they did lose a quarterback and
Trent Camp and Jargo, the really good wide receiver.
Yeah, that quarterback had been a starter for a couple years.
Yeah, I think he was a 3-year starter, I want to say.
So, and then again, so that'll be interesting. That'll be a tough game. And then like you said, you come back against Don Bosco, and all teams have had to play, a team like that at some point in time where you're going to be way underdog. And that's where I know when Coach Ratliff and I were coaching with basketball, and a couple times we ran into a Northland team, or we hit Springville one of those years when, and that's where you just set some team goals and say, hey, this is what we want to accomplish tonight, and and we want to be better than we were against Springville, or
Right.
Maybe whatever, and then kind of see what happens on those last 4 games, maybe put together a win streak, and
Marshall's going to take the carry over to the left side of the
there's-
field, and we got him in the backfield, but he doesn't get tackled, and he's going to
that time he did.
does get
Kind
tackled
of missed
there.
tackle there. Looks like, did they bring in somebody? No, I thought maybe I saw Dayton Price out there. No.
It's going to be about 3rd and 10,
10.
back to the original line of scrimmage. We've got 3:40 to play here from Springville. Cole's coming back into the game.
So we're down to 3:25 left.
Wildcats coming up to the line.
They got
Silver
Betzer in
and
at that
Vandevet. And then
fullback.
yep.
There he goes.
Betzer's going to take it up the middle.
I'm not a coach, but I just saw there, it looked like Brady was standing straight up. I feel like he needs to stay lower and drive versus standing up maybe quite as much.
You want to stay
Stay
low as much as you
so
can.
then the Betzer can get in behind you instead of, it felt like he maybe, then you lose your leverage sometimes against the defender.
Yeah, but I've always heard Myers say lower man wins.
Yeah.
And that's
So we got it. We got 4th and about 7 here. 4th and 6.
somewhere around there. 4th and 6 from the 25 they have on the scoreboard.
So big play here. We got Cole coming in, Marshall's in.
It'd be great for just the
Yeah, to
confidence
keep
of the
it
team
going,
if they
yeah.
can maybe even punch it in for a touchdown.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe a timeout. And looks like we are going to have a timeout taken.
Oh, I guess we
Wildcats
called. I thought
take their
Springville.
3rd and final
Yep.
timeout.
So with 2:29 to go, it's 14-52. Maybe we can give another shout out to Next Bank.
Next Bank represents a new approach to banking in Iowa, expanded services, more technology, and increased personal attention. If you want to take your banking to the next level, Next Bank is for you. Next Bank is proud to sponsor Central City Sports. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
All right, so, field goal time, David.
Oh, we're going for a first field goal of the season. Ethan is back into the game to hold, so must not be too bad.
The ball's on the 25, 35, 42-yarder.
I don't think they're quite the full 10 yards back, but it's on the way. It's blocked. And you know, one thing I noticed is, so last season we went 10 yards back for the field goal. This season they're closer to 7.
So that's going to be, because normally they always go 7 yards back to spot the ball. So that way now the team has a little more, can get to the ball a little quicker. It
was a little unusual what we did last year, but that was just to give Marshall more time back there to get a good kickoff, and that one gets blocked, unfortunately. So we've got 2:23 to go here. It's like Jaden Hansen's going to get in on defense for the Wildcats. I don't think I've seen him out there yet tonight.
Jack Kramer's in, and it looks like
Marshall's going to come off.
Yep. Yeah, Jaden Hansen's out
like
there.
Mackay's in there as well.
And Christopher Greif, number 44, is out there.
So we've got a lot of our younger guys in there that haven't seen the field so much tonight.
And Dayton Price. Looks like they got him up on the line. Springville called a timeout.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is a good opportunity for some of those kids to get in there and get some tackles. We talked about a little bit about the athleticism of some of our freshmen. I mean, obviously, we've seen a lot of Aiden Klosterman. We've got a lot of young guys. We talked about Lucas Greif, his little brother Christopher's out there, and then we saw Dayton Price in the first half a little bit. Now you said we've got Mackay out there, Mackay Benton. And we talked about Arwen, who's 56. Colton Nowatzki's out there. Colton's a 6-foot sophomore.
Colton looked good in a lot of the JV games last year.
Yeah, you know, I saw him play. He got to play a little bit of a varsity game, and I think he grew so much. It's kind of now he's starting to get used to his kind of growing into his body a little bit there. Yeah, we've got Aiden staying out there. So now they have a new running back in, and he's going to run right up the middle.
He's got a chance. Aiden's going to see if he can get him down, and he will get him down, but he's going to go all the way.
I don't understand how our linemen are getting blocked so much.
They're going to spot it at the 9, it looks like. But once again, 1st and goal for the Orioles.
And that's just, I mean, I don't know if they've got second-string blockers in there or if they still have their first-stringers in there, but
it looks to me like they've got their second-stringers in there for the most part.
We're just getting manhandled up there a little bit.
Less than 2 minutes to play here from Springville. We'll see what they do. Going to go right back up the middle.
Is that Menster?
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the end zone. Let's try to get a number on that guy.
I didn't hear who they said.
Looks like maybe number 2.
Oh, okay. Corey Weber is his name. All right, so.
Possibly who that is. Yep, looks like it's number 2.
Looks like it's 2nd and goal.
Ball's right about the 1.
Wildcats need we need a defensive stand right here. Let's not let them score.
There's a snap, same thing, right back up the middle, cuts it to the outside, and he will get into the end zone.
So no penetration there. Our defensive line didn't make any kind of a dent in their offensive line.
He just made one move, bounced it to the outside, and brought it into the end zone. So 1:07 to play as the Orioles now lead 58-14. I don't see Menster.
They're going to go for their 2-point conversion.
Looks like a more typical offensive set this
just
time.
Just a more traditional one. So we'll see here if the Wildcats. They're going to low snap, same play, and he just runs it right through there.
10. I believe that's Luke Jordan into the end zone.
Yep.
And so 60-14 our score. But like I said earlier, that doesn't really tell the whole story of tonight's game.
We left at least 2 scores, like I said, 2 times inside the 5-yard line. You don't come away with anything.
It's been a good fight from our guys.
Well, Well, in the one time, when we were inside the 5, didn't we end up, is that when we punted and they returned it for the touchdown?
Yep.
So
I
that was
believe
on a
so.
punt. So versus if we would have scored and then just did a kickoff, and chances are the kickoff would have went out of the end zone, you take that off. I mean, yeah, and this is a good opportunity for some of these young kids. I mean, it's like, you're going from middle school to high school here. Now it's, you got to see. And it's a good way for the coaches as a motivational, like to say, hey, look, guys, if you want to be out here playing, you got to be able to tackle. You got to be
Right.
able to block. You got to be able to. So maybe it's kind of some good incentive for some of the kids just to say, hey, I do need to be, maybe more sharper in practice or whatever. So.
New kicker for the Orioles. I think I heard the PA guy say Corey Weber, same
Yep,
guy that
number
punched
2.
into the end
Yep.
zone.
So we'll see. Who do we got back? Do we still
I
have
think
Marshall?
that's still Marshall. It's set up around the 10-yard line.
Yep. So we'll see what this Corey Weber does here. He's going to be the more traditional soccer style kicker, and he
Another line drive, but
Yep.
put something into
No.
it. Picked up about the 12-yard line. Marshall brings up to the
Go,
25.
Marshall.
That's the 30, and he's going
Yeah.
to be dragged down around the 35-yard line. So another
Yep.
nice return for Marshall. It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how many return yards he
Yeah.
ends up having, because it's been
mean,
quite a few.
I mean, we've been between the 25 and 35-yard line pretty consistently with his kick returns. The one thing and Marshall's doing a great job, but on those line drive kicks, it is hard to get down for kick coverage. So,
If you can have a high spiraling
yeah,
kick,
then
then
yeah,
it's almost like same thing on a punt. You want to get the high kick. That way you can give your guys a chance to get down there.
right. All right,
So we got 2 in the backfield, and we are going to run the play. Looks like
I didn't see who
couldn't
that
get
was.
quite the number on that, but they're going to be taken down for a short gain.
Riley Serbisek.
Riley Serbisek gets his first
I
appearance
think-
in tonight's
And
game.
I think this is the first time I don't think he played football last
I don't
year.
believe he did either.
He's a
Nope, he did
sophomore.
not.
He's a sophomore, but he did not play football. So Riley Serbisek's getting some playing time, and Jaden Hansen looks like he's
But I
running
believe
the
that is going to end the game as the clock
is
hits
that-
0.
last play of the game. All right.
So final
60
score
to
here
14.
from Springville: Orioles 60, Wildcats 14.
Well, just real quick, I think we've had a chance to kind of talk about kind of just the way the game's played out here, just kind of some filler. But, we talked about it's a young team. Lost Isaiah and Nick a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns. And, we mentioned Springville's got 12 seniors back.
Yep.
Obviously, probably favored to win this game. Wildcats were hanging with them at the beginning, and and you mentioned it. A lot of the stuff that happened tonight, it wasn't necessarily things that can't be fixed.
Right.
I mean, we didn't play our best game, and Springville just kicked our butt, and we have nothing to get better at. Defensively, obviously, coach is going to talk about tackling and coverage, or like assignments as far as like you mentioned, linebackers and things like that. Offensively, you got to give Troy, Curtis some credit there. He's new at center, struggled the first half. Really, the second half, it was more some of the handling of the snaps. They
Yeah,
weren't
I don't know
necessarily
if he had any bad snaps per
It
se,
was
like over the head or on the ground
just
or anything
some
like that.
mishandled ones. But he struggled a little bit that first half with some over. But those are all things that he can work all week on now.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and it was his first, like you mentioned, his first game. So it's unfortunate. It's disappointing to lose. But I guess in that silver lining is that the stuff is if the guys come back and really work hard in practice, all the things that happened tonight are things that they can work on and get better at. So disappointing. We're hanging in there. It sucks to have you were inside the 5-yard line
Right.
twice, and you don't. And even with Marshall, we could have at least come away with 3 points.
Yep.
Some of those. You think there's maybe even 6 points there. So it is kind of frustrating. Like you mentioned, I think that's the key is people are going to look at the score and they're just going to say, "Oh, Central City only got 14 points and 60-14." But I think the Wildcats are going to be a fun team to watch this year. There's
For sure.
a lot of watch how those young kids progress. You got to give it'll be interesting to see I guess what Springville does. If they face a team that's got a little more experience, a little bigger on defense than us. It'll be interesting to see because they were pretty one-dimensional.
Yeah. It was mostly the Demean show once again.
Bryce Wilson came in and did a little bit at quarterback, but I mean, the things that he did were everything was really revolved around Demean. So, Springville probably has some things that they're going to need to work on. They're going to maybe have to diversify a little bit because, like I said, if they run into a team that's got a little more size than what we do, really, it could be a different story for them. But, hey, so we're going to go ahead and call it a night. We just want to thank everybody for joining us on the Wildcat Sports channel. The Wildcats lose tonight to Springville at 60
to 14.
60 to 14 is the final score. I'm Cindy McCarthy, and I was joined tonight by David Warrington, and we just want to thank everybody for listening to the broadcast. And the next Wildcat Sports broadcast is going to be next Friday, September 4th. Hopefully we'll have that game as the Wildcats we've already mentioned it, are going to be traveling to Easton Valley to take on, is it the Warhawks or the Riverhawks? Riverhawks. And the kickoff will be at 7 o'clock. So hopefully we can get somebody to that game, and we can, and you guys can listen in. So we appreciate everybody listening, and go Cats.
Thanks, guys. Go